could accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
We've even seen a referee 2 feet from the play on the sideline staring at the guy trying to catch the ball, staring at where his feet are, and still calls him out.
Get ready for 2 hours of hard-hitting football talk from two men in the know. It's Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.
Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, absolutely, and showing that he could possibly be the GOAT.
All right, but I gotta say something about the New England Patriots here. The Patriots kept coming out and saying before the Super Bowl even happened, they kept saying, "Oh, well, everybody's against us." Bullshit.
Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome once again to another episode of Football on the Know. I am Jim McPhee, and alongside of me is Mr. Joe DeCapita.
What's going on, Autos? Welcome back for another edition of Football on the No Show with none other than your favorite two guys to talk football with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're starting a little late tonight, but you know what?
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure it was going to be a good show. We wanted to
We
get things
apologize for our tardiness. Just want to say that. And it is very
fashionably late. It's
It's
always
very It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
sorry about that. It's
an hour later, but you know that's
Listen.
how I arrive at parties too, man. You want
I
to right up
mean-
when it first starts. You want to get rolling, you know, a little fashionably in, you know. make
last
your own
I heard.
entrance,
Last
you know,
I
that's
heard,
what
we had
do.
an hour delay for
Yeah.
the show. That's
Yes.
what I got. I got
Yes.
reported. So,
Okay.
I mean, according to us, we're right on time.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. So I hope everybody's having a good night out there. It's
Yeah.
been another interesting week. Here in New York, in Albany, or Schenectady, rather, we just opened up at the Rivers Casino the sports book here there. So now we
Sportsbook,
actually
yeah.
have
right.
sports betting available now as
That's right.
of 2 days. Yesterday, I think it was. Yes, yesterday. So
Unfortunately,
that's
you
pretty
need
exciting.
money for that, which I don't
Yes,
have.
you do to
So-
make money. Yes, you do. But it was pretty interesting. They had the ribbon cutting ceremony there in Schenectady at the first one that's going to do that. There's others that are going to follow and things along out of I don't know how many casinos there are. I think there's like 4 or 5 that's going to get started this
Mm-hmm.
year, and it's pretty interesting. So I'm excited to see when football season comes how that's going to. Turn out if they're going to be a turnout there. If you know it's going to be really interesting.
Right, and I think it's a type of thing where it's going to be for any sport. So it's going to be a big deal, I think, for the bettors out there and stuff. Now you don't even have to worry about it. You can just show up, place your bets, and whether it be like over under. What do you want to do?
Yeah, they
Pick
have a few
straight up
different
games,
things.
straight up win, lose. Whatever the case may be for any sport that you're into. I think it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, there you can actually bet on horse racing at the same time that you can bet
Right.
on the regular games too as well. And the thing is, they haven't implemented the mobile gaming yet. You have to go and do it right there in that
Okay.
particular place, and that's that area that they set aside.
Right.
And the interesting thing is, though, with this whole thing, certain states have their own type of regulations on this. Whether a lot of it has to do with college games or local high school sports and things like that.
Right.
College sports.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some way like certain teams that are college teams around, especially Syracuse. I think it's really strict. Like you can't, if Syracuse is playing in New York, you're not
Yeah.
allowed to bet here at all.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
and I think even same thing with Albany as well. But I think also even with Syracuse, I think the stipulation was that you couldn't bet on them all together. Like even if they played, like say they played Duke or something like that, you weren't even to bet on a Syracuse game if they were in Duke. So
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
pretty interesting to look at all the different types of stipulations they have and
Yep.
rules. And I think New York is going to keep on top of it and trying to regulate it as much as they can here and still let everybody have their fun. But finally legalize sports betting
It's definitely
York.
a huge deal.
more things to
And,
join. So
yeah, here's the thing. It's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Now, that's the bottom line. Everybody look at the bottom line here. New York State. The reason why they're allowing this, the reason why it's now legal is because now they're going to make some more money. That's really what it's all about. And we'll just have to wait and see how it all takes off. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to work out really well.
Absolutely. And last week's show MVP was Hollywood Gaming. He came in strong.
That's right.
Last week, man.
He
He
did.
showed up a little later in the show and just
Came on
rocked
fire.
it out. And Hollywood Gaming was watching us on YouTube, which shout out to everybody there watching us from YouTube, also on Facebook and also on Periscope on Twitter.
Definitely.
Yeah, this guy brought everything, different questions about Aaron Rodgers and all kinds of things. And he was our show MVP, so he gets his name in the running for the
That's
big
right.
contest we're going to have at the end of the season. So shout
right.
out to Hollywood Gaming and everybody else. Like it says right here, join our group. Questions and comments. We actually have a segment for that later tonight because there's not a whole lot going on in the NFL here, but training camps are going to be starting.
Before we get any farther, I want to do a shout out to especially for Hollywood Gaming, because not only through the show was he interactive, he was active the whole time, but he was like the closer. Like towards the end of the show, I mean,
yeah.
he kept bringing it, question after question, comment. It was awesome. So great feedback from Hollywood Gaming. Hope that you can stop by for this show, and all our know-it-alls out there. We thank you so much for the support. Me and Jim, we try to do our best. We work very hard on this in our downtime, and thank you everybody for your support. And as we keep growing as a family here.
Yeah, definitely. And he jumped in there and hit the subscribe button too.
Aggressively.
On what was it?
By the
YouTube
way,
too, as
I
well.
did check out our YouTube channel, and this week we got 2 extra subscribers.
All right, excellent. That is awesome. That is always good to know and good to see. Here we go. But this show tonight, we're going to talk about everybody's in the panties in a bunch, especially players. Keenan Allen's boycotting Madden and stuff. We have it right here. I've had it since we started here. Madden 20 has gotten everybody. Madden everybody gets all lit up every year about it.
Right.
And it's pretty crazy. They read their ratings and and it's pretty
Very
pretty
upset.
tough. It is. It's
wait a
I
second.
think I
What?
can do this. I'm going to run right now to show you I'm a better speed and stuff.
How am I an
But
86?
this year, I think especially has been pretty overwhelming in the fact that people are disgruntled with their ratings.
There has been a gigantic eruption of emotions coming out of the NFL. A lot of players across the board are super upset about the ratings that they were given. Let's demand a recount. Let's recount. EA Sports, I'm sorry, but after looking at some of the ratings and in a glimpse of an eye here, I was even upset for the players. I mean, I could not believe how you get certain ratings and how they go about the categories. Some of the categories are like unrealistic and unattainable, for quarterbacks, which is kind of what we're going to be leading up to. We're going to do our quarterback segment today. But breaking tackle rating. I'm sorry, but
I know.
to have a break tackle rating for a quarterback, I get it for a wide receiver or running back because that happens all the time. But for a quarterback, how often does it really actually happen for any kind of quarterback out of all 32 teams every single week? When does it actually happen? Because according to me, I mean, I've watched in years of football that I've watched, I've only seen it very, very few times. I could count on one hand probably of a quarterback breaking a tackle. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, that to me is like a completely absurd rating to even have for a quarterback. And I'm also curious to the EA developers, just how in fact do you figure out each individual rating for each position? That's what I'm curious. How do you come up with numbers like that?
Yeah,
So,
I agree with it because again, I'm looking at it as I look at it as percentages almost like you know what I mean it's hard to be even like a 99 percent. I always have to see it as 100% because nothing is it goes up to 99 to almost 100, right? So nothing is always 100%.
Never at 100%.
Yeah. So if you're telling me like you're talking to break the sack, one,
right.
This person's going to get, a 69 or something like that, say breaking the sack. There's no way that any quarterback is breaking a sack 69% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Or even had done it 69 times. You know what I'm saying? And then another guy 30-something. And, how do you judge whether that guy could or not? It's all circumstantial.
Yep.
And you're talking about an act that is already being made, like a sack not even just pressure or a guy
Right.
on you
Right.
after contact. That's
Yeah.
what they should even maybe call it.
Yeah.
But in the act of sacking you, shedding it away or breaking it away.
I've never
I
seen.
mean,
I've really have hardly ever have seen it. It's so rare. It's ridiculous. But I want to know from EA, from Madden, the developers, and all the whole staff that actually creates the game and figures out these numbers. Just how in fact do you figure these numbers out? And on top of that, I'm just baffled by like some of the numbers that some of the ratings that they've given to these quarterbacks. I'm sorry, I gotta question it. I can't believe it.
all right, so we're gonna go through our list of
Let's get into it.
our quarterbacks here. Let's fade right here to it, Joe. Here's our list, and this is how they're rated right now. Patrick Mahomes, the guy who gets the cover. Maybe this is why they even put him on the cover. They knew they were going to rate him this high and stuff, but I think this is pretty preposterous. This is amazing. This blows my freaking mind, all right? My mind is blown right here, so there you go. I'm going to hit right here. My mind, that's my mind blowing right there. There it is. Oh my gosh. Patrick Mahomes, 97 after one start, one season.
Yeah.
One season, he's a 97 in a top of Madden here. Over Tom Brady, who happens to be a 96.
Yeah.
Now, even another bigger surprise here. We got Phillip Rivers, the guy that everybody wants to overlook.
Yeah.
And people don't even want to say he's in the Hall of Fame. He's trash. He's garbage. He's just got a loud mouth. He's up there at 94. All of a sudden pops out of here. Finally, after Phillip Rivers is a senior player here, they finally give him the recognition and give him a 94 rating. All right? And then Drew Brees, he drops a tick down over to a 92 here. And then you've got the rest of the guys moving in. Andrew Luck coming off that injury, 92. Russell Wilson, 91. Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers again. He was one of those guys that was near a 90 or 99 or a year or so ago. Drops all the way down to plummets to a 90.
And you got to expect ratings to change season to season because various things happen. A guy gets hurt. A guy doesn't play that well, depending on week to week, the matchups and everything. But for Aaron Rodgers, to me, it was mostly injury laden. So if you're lowering his rating because he was injured, I don't know. I don't think that I see it the same way that EA sees it. I got to question that, and I'm sorry. I think that that's a little bit ridiculous. You can't falter a guy for being injured, and it looks like that's what EA does. It looks like EA takes almost like a weird formula and jumbles it up in a hat type of thing and says, hey, let's see, what do the overall fans think? Well, the fans talk a lot of trash, and they really hate Eli Manning, and they really hate this guy, and they really hate that guy. Well, those guys, we're going to lower their ratings next season. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like they do. It seems like depending season to season, depending on how players see themselves and how coaches and how the fans see each player is almost dictating the ratings for the upcoming Madden game. And it's really, really weird. So.
Oh, it's an interesting formula because even to try and figure it out is just as confusing as trying to figure out women.
I try not to.
Exactly.
I'm staying away
That's
from
what
that.
I'm ready to do now. But that's why we do this segment every year. We've done it now since we started.
Yeah.
The last 3 years now.
And had a blast doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it seems a little more normal when we do our ratings. What we do now when we come up with our re-rating system is we grab everything that matters to a quarterback, like throwing power, awareness, accuracy from short to mid to long. And these are all the numbers that they give in the game. We're not coming up with our own stuff. In a little bit, we're going to say whether we should go higher or lower or not.
Right. We utilize their ratings.
Use their rating
but
system.
only pick
the
certain categories that fit that position.
Absolutely. And try and figure out how they determine the number after. How does a guy, when you're rating him at this certain these ratings, when you tally it up, average it up, it doesn't equal a 99 and things like that. Like, we'll get into it when we talk defense and Aaron Donald and all those guys later on, which the Madden 99 thing blows my freaking mind too. I just can't understand how any of these players are a 99. That's not even right. You know
They're
what I'm
near
saying?
perfect.
Obviously. And Bobby Wagner apparently is. Yes, he's a great player, but a 99, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
I
You know?
mean, I guess that's why the rating
where,
is there.
On to me, that's almost like when the doctor gives me pain tolerance. Where are you on the chart?
That's
you
right.
Frowny face all the way over there. I'm usually like, if I can take it, I'm a 5 around here. I'm a 10. I'm a 10. This hurts. You know, I don't get that.
That's why I always usually have fun when I'm at the doctor's, and they ask me, like, for my wrist, when I broke my wrist,
Yes.
they're like, oh, from 1 to 10, 10 being the most painful,
Yes.
where do you lie? And I'm like, 12.
Well, that's real.
And they're like, wait a second, that's over the charts. We can't,
we can't prescribe anything for that then.
So it's a very, just like you're saying here, it's a very big gray area. So basically, you could throw out a number and say, oh, well, that guy's catching, that should be a 96.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what makes you say 96?
Mm-hmm.
He's really good with his hands and everything else, and like DeAndre Hopkins, he's also a 99 overall rated
Mm-hmm.
player. But like, how do you dictate everything else? His don't get me wrong, catching has got to be way up there in the mid 90s or something like that. But like, I just don't understand when they give out these ratings, what exactly are they basing them on? It's got to be just something that they like kind of figure out and calculate. Like, oh well, he had this many yards and catches, so somehow we got to figure out a percentage between the two, and that's going to be our it's got to be
Like I said,
something.
to try and figure it out. I don't know if it's going off of last
It's
year's
baffling.
performance. And
It's
a
very
mixture of
baffling.
everything, I guess.
And actually,
But
it
anyway.
is. Just so everybody, Madden games get made based off of last season's roster. You know what I mean? They do have the last thing that they install into the game is the rookies for the current year. But really, the roster is made off of last season's roster. So if they're going off of last season's roster, they're also going off of last season's plays and how they played in each game. So all that, it's not up to the current year. They're not projecting. Like, listen, like me and Jim, we projected our top 10 of each position for the upcoming 2019 season. Madden never does this. But me and Jim decided to take it on our own shoulders here and said, hey, you know what? We're going to make a top 10 list for each position, and we're going to rate it 1 to 10 and what we think they're going to end up at the end of the 2019 season. Now, Madden does it the other way. Madden, whether they, when they try to make the rosters as current as possible before launch, but they're still utilizing data that happened last season. So they never try to project. And the rating system, I'm sorry, it's still at fault. It's still terrible. We've done this for a couple years now, and they still haven't gotten it right.
You know the thing that breaks that whole theory, though, too, also? That who is the secret cheat code? J.D. McKissick. How the hell is this guy the highest rated starting running back for the Seattle Seahawks and never gets to play because
Never
he's always
plays.
injured?
Exactly.
How is that? Somehow he's bypassed it.
It's also funny. There's a cornerback by the name of Dre Kirkpatrick in the game, and I call him the glitch.
The glitch?
Because he's like 33, 34 years old type of cornerback for the Bengals. But if you do a fantasy draft and you get him on your team, he's like shut down.
There you go.
It doesn't matter.
That's a
So,
list maybe we should come up. Madden glitches, top 10 Madden glitches or things like that. We'll do a list of that. But anyways, right now we're going to go back to the quarterbacks. All right, so Joe, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the ratings here. And I'm going to ask you
just
your
so everybody,
opinion.
just so all
Sure.
the know-it-alls know here, the ratings that you're seeing by each name is
exactly-
our.
This
this
is what Madden rates them right
This
now.
is what Madden rates.
Madden
them.
rates them right
Okay.
here. Yep, this is what Madden rates them.
We didn't.
right?
We
So-
didn't get them. We didn't get them rated then.
No, I have
We got
them
'em up there?
rated, but I'm just going to let everybody know what we rate them at. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it through here. Now I'm going to start with Patrick Mahomes. Now Joe, he's a 97. Now would you rate him higher than that, or would you rate him lower than that? What
Lower.
would you think? Now what would you guess that maybe his rating might be?
97. Here's the thing: is for Patrick Mahomes, for me, he's had 1 year of tremendous productivity. I get it. 50 touchdown passes, whole lot of yards. He did very well. He didn't throw a ton of interceptions. But I'm sorry, but like after one season, I can't make him the best quarterback in the league for the upcoming Madden game. I understand he's on the cover, and he should be because he had a great year last season. So for me, based on one season, it's great and all, but I think I would go with like an 89.
Oh, 89. Okay. Well, when we did our rating system, again, using all the ratings that they gave us, the data that they gave us, and we did it.
Right. But here's the funny thing is what I just did there, I just popped off
Yeah,
with a number.
popped off a number.
I got to wonder if this is what they really do.
Yeah, sometimes you get committee. All right, so we did the calculations, and Patrick Mahomes comes out to a 93, Joe. So he
Okay.
goes down. He loses 4 ticks and goes down
Gotcha.
to a 93. Still
Alrighty.
best player in the game at this point. All right. Now going on to Tom Brady. Tom Brady, the best player of all time. Everybody likes to name him this and this. He was Mr. 99 last year,
Yes.
and apparently the cheat code and stuff. He comes
Also
in down
on the
a few
cover.
ticks here, also on the cover. He was a 96 now with this one. Now, what do you think? He's aging now. See, that's what I'm
He's
wondering if they
aging.
take in the fact maybe that's why they take him down a little bit.
Right.
So what would you take? You think he's going to be roughly the same, higher or lower?
And here's the interesting thing is last season, he didn't really have a great receiving core. He didn't have a great supporting cast. So this year, oh, my God. I mean, on paper, I think the Patriots have one of the best receiving cores right now. And it's going to be shown for this upcoming season. And because of that, I'm okay. I'm okay with that rating almost right there. I think he's going to do even better. So where would I rate? What's his rating right now?
96.
96?
The same, higher
Yeah.
or lower?
I don't know. I think I would do about, maybe I'll do 96. I'll just keep it at 96.
All right. Well, when we did the calculations, or I did rather, we did it through here, and he loses 6 spots and goes down to a 90.
That's crazy.
There you go. But I think that's generally
But
maybe
the-
close
but
to what
here's
he
the-
could be because
right.
he is 42 years old or so.
I understand that,
he's
and we
aging there.
did notice last season him kind of slowing down a little bit. We noticed some misguided throws, some throws into the ground even. Like, I mean, when we saw Julian Edelman like come on a couple of slants and stuff, and the ball was ending up at his feet. There was a little bit of issue there. So we've noticed a little bit of a weakness in his arm at times, not all the time, but there's some loose loose links to that armor that are kind of falling off right now. So and we're noticing it, little extra wear and tear in the tires. So okay, yeah, he drops down there. Okay, that's
All right,
that's fine.
Next up, we have Phillip Rivers. Now, Phillip Rivers comes in at a 94. I think this is the highest Madden rating he's ever had, from what I can recall. I mean, I don't know
Really?
if he's been rated a 90-something before. I don't know. I'd have to look back at some old ones. But Phillip Rivers here, shining bright as a 94, Joe. You think he's going to be higher or lower when we re-rate this here?
Phillip Rivers. I think he's gonna be, what is he right now for Madden?
94.
94. I think he'll be a little lower.
All right, well, he is a bit lower. He is actually 6 ticks lower, down to an 88. So
Yeah.
he drops down to an 88, and roughly, again, I think that's more along the lines of what maybe he should be rated. Somewhere
Yeah.
around it, he's still great, still one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep.
And if you look at all of his tangibles and attributes, I'd say 88, sure, why not? Sounds good, still playing at a high level. No,
Yeah,
definitely. So.
here's the other thing too is that Madden is also like taking into account also how well the team did, because if I'm not wrong here, last season. Now they do the ratings on the previous season before it. So last season the Chargers didn't look great. They didn't have a good team. They were like mid-tier type of a team 2 years ago. So. In Madden for last season, they didn't really have Phillip Rivers wasn't rated very highly, so it's gotta come into part of the equation.
So yeah.
So like if your team didn't do that great the previous year, then it's going to reflect on the Madden ratings for the next season because again they just
Maybe
don't
that's
project.
how they average it out, and that's why it's always troubling. Because again, when I did the averages of the things that matter with a quarterback,
Right.
How are you getting a 94 or 96 out of this? I got an 88, but we'll see. We'll see what
Right.
happens
Okay.
with here.
Okay.
All right, now Drew Brees, one of the elite quarterbacks, one of the greatest of all time, breaking records last year, who did great.
Yeah.
Snubbed a little bit, I think, by
Milestones.
the Madden crew here. He's rated a 92. Now, Joe, what do you think he's going to be? When I recalculate, he's going to be higher, lower, roughly the same? What do you think?
I mean, for Drew Brees, he's one of the best quarterbacks all time. He just seems to just break records every single year. I haven't seen much of a decline, to be honest. So I mean, I would say, to be fair, I would say either it's got to be somewhere around 92. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be.
Well, Drew Brees, again, these top-rated guys, some of them have ticked down, like Mahomes dropped down 4. Again, Brees drops down 6 spots here to an 86.
Oh,
so, wow. Can you imagine that now? Drew Brees in a Madden game rated as an 86. Let that just soak into your brain.
I'm sorry. I just can't. How's it in 86?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
And by their other ratings, again, the throwing,
the breaking sack,
the
break sack rating. What is that?
I don't know.
Come on.
But even that wasn't rated that poorly. I don't know where they're getting some of their ratings because
But you know what it is?
Accuracy and awareness. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time. Again, when was the last time he threw? An interception? He barely throws interceptions. When he does, maybe they have to be at critical times.
It could be a tip ball. It could be anything like that.
Again, this guy has been. I talked to his with one of our know-it-alls earlier today about how these past 2 postseasons. He's had to watch from the sidelines and watch his team lose as he thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what type of guy this quarterback and the talent that he has here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know
tough.
how it drops that far.
All right, Andrew Luck, the guy who thought, we weren't sure what we were going to get. The first couple of weeks, it looked kind of shady. You're like, oh, no, maybe the shoulder isn't going to work out so
we really
much.
weren't sure.
He steps up, and they give him a 92 here for this season. So, sure, he played great. We back him up to that level.
Yep.
Now, do you think he's going to be the same or higher or lower, when we recalculate the numbers?
I don't know. I'm going to say higher.
Well, he is a 90, comes in at a 91. So just one tick lower, but they roughly got it right here along when they did their ratings along with them. One thing I did notice is that, throwing on the run, they rated him very well, which I think is interesting. All right, now moving on to Russell Wilson here. See, this is funny, too, when you look at some of their ratings and how they have them. When you talk Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, putting Russell Wilson in front of Aaron Rodgers, that kind of bothers me a little bit. So they are one of the 2 highest paid quarterbacks in the league here, and Russell Wilson being the younger, quarterback, I don't still see them on the same level here. Russell Wilson, he's a different type of hybrid quarterback, but only been in the league a few years here, and yes, impressive, and yes, able to win games for his team. But, man, it's tough to put him on the same level for me. I don't know, maybe it's Aaron Rodgers' love or not, but Russell Wilson here coming in at a 91 just above Aaron Rodgers. Do you think that's right, or when we recalculate, is it going to be lower or is it going to be higher?
I think it'll be a little bit lower.
Well, he comes in here after I calculate it as a 92. He goes up 1 tick.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. And now when I did Aaron Rodgers here, and I recalculated him, do you think he goes along with that same pace and moves up 1 or goes down or stays the same?
With the way Madden and everything is going, maybe it might be a little lower, I think.
Well, he's going to go up 1 more tick, and he's at 91. So, again, they stay roughly – nothing really changes here in this top-tier system about who's up top above people, except for Andrew Luck takes a step back under Russell Wilson, and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers fall all the way back behind Aaron Rodgers now at this point. So that's an interesting way of events here. Moving into Matt Ryan now, a guy who, in a lot of people's opinion, isn't one of those elite quarterbacks. Some people say he's got to be, but he's one of those silent leaders, silent players. Again, the questions about him, they're just not sure, So hasn't won a playoff, so many playoff games. Or he hasn't won. He won was right there to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he couldn't, ran 10 yards back, got sacked, and then ruined the game.
I blame Kyle Shanahan.
Yes,
I'm
I agree
sorry.
with the play call.
Absolutely ridiculous the whole second
So they
half.
bring in Matt Ryan here at an 89. They rate him pretty well here, and I think that's fairly close. Now, going through the rating system, do you think it's the same, lower or higher?
I don't know. Maybe was it 90?
89.
89?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little higher.
All right, he's coming in at an 88, which
That's
is
it?
1 tick lower even,
Really?
when they rate him. So they got the rating system close when they decided to give him his overall. when you go through all the stats that matter for a quarterback, they're pretty much on right here. And now Big Ben, shunned now by the Madden group here, going in, right underneath Matt Ryan here at an 85. Back here with Cam Newton. So maybe it was that one game he threw those 7 interceptions or something like that. It really threw him off. He's getting older. Said maybe he's washed up and wants to retire.
Yeah, maybe there's all that speculation about, he could be retired, so maybe he's not as into it as he once was, and we're going to give him a little bit lower rating. So
yeah, definitely. So I mean, there he is at an 85. What do you think for Big Ben? You think that's just too low for him?
You know, with Big Ben, I think he's better than an 85 rating. I really do. I know he gets a lot of crap from a lot of people, especially like obviously the rival Browns fans and stuff like that. But I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's still in that top half of the league type of quarterback and stuff. So yeah, I think 85 is maybe a little bit too low right now. He's one of the best quarterbacks that can throw deep. He doesn't make too many. Yes, he makes mistakes here and there, but he's like kind of like just like he's adequate. He's reliable. He's always there for the Steelers. So I think it's got to be higher than 85, doesn't it?
Well, it is. It is, but only by a few ticks at 87.
Okay.
Here, so an 87. So he's roughly there.
That's
so
better.
If you do our recalculations here now,
yeah.
this kind of this is what we try to do, trying to make a little more sense of everything. Because when it goes from a 90, 89, and then boom down to 85, and then they're going to start dropping off quick.
Right.
When we try and grade some of these guys, I think it's a closer pool than what we're really looking at with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
So if you give him an 87 now he's in Phillip Rivers territory with an 88 when we recalculated. So
now I'm
they're
okay.
At the same graduate, when they came out the same year.
As long as Rivers is above Big Ben, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and they're right there, close. Drew Brees coming in at 86 when we recalculated there. So keep that in mind as well. And now bringing into Cam Newton. This is an interesting guy here.
This guy.
Yeah, Joe loves Cam Newton. They give him an 84 here for Cam Newton, which I can agree with that one. I think that's, roughly close. He's decent at times. Maybe some of the other attributes, when I did the calculations, I'm looking, I'm like, well, they're a little too easy.
Skewed.
Yeah, a little with that. But an 84, do you think he should be higher or he should be lower?
I think he should be an 83.
There you go, an 83. Yeah, well, yeah, I can see that too as well. But you know what? Madden, in the stats.
What do they got?
They gave him a whole lot of love on his stats,
Oh, my
Joe.
God. What did they
whole
do?
lot of love, but then the overall rating, I don't get it. Where's it doesn't equal the overall. He has an overall of an 84. When I did the crunching of all the stats, and this is even breaking the tackle or the sack, he's an 88, Joe.
No
he
way.
moves up 4 spots to an 88.
No way.
MVP status.
No.
Pretty
No.
amazing stuff.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
EA's got it
I
wrong.
can disagree there too as well.
Got it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So now I'm moving on to Jared Goff again. This guy, where a lot of people think it's Sean McVay is the success that he's getting here. He wasn't utilized right or getting where he should be with Jeff Fisher. So he makes it to a Super Bowl for the first time here, and couldn't get it done. Couldn't get that offense all together. They rate him at an 83, and some of the ratings that they gave him to. Again, they weren't very easy on him either. They were definitely playing in that whole fact that he might be a system quarterback.
I disagree.
And
I have to strongly disagree on Goff. Goff's got to be higher.
All right, so he is a little bit higher, but when I crunched the numbers that they gave me, he comes in at an 85. So they're saying he's there
I
with.
think he's up higher.
The funny thing is, again, the Drew Brees, because if you do the numbers, 85, Drew Brees is an 86. How do you put
That's
Jared
ridiculous.
Goff with Drew
I'm
Brees?
sorry.
That one is
Drew Brees is
that one I have to
you
throw my
can-
arms about.
You cannot put Drew Brees under 90.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't.
The guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, and he doesn't even show any signs of slowing down. I mean, I'm sorry, but I think Drew Brees is kind of climbing that quarterback mountain right here, and you could argue that Drew Brees right now is the best quarterback in football today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Especially when they bring up, best shortest guy, quarterback. And
I don't care about the shortness.
Yeah.
He
All right,
can
so
play.
everybody's favorite quarterback this season. Here, let's bring it up here. This is where we're at with Baker Mayfield. A lot of people expect a lot out of the Cleveland Browns this season.
I know
Baker
I do.
Mayfield, what were they going to give him? Last year they rated him pretty well, and now he's sitting here at an 83.
Isn't that
so,
is that kind of close to what they rated
Yeah,
him last
I think
year?
so.
Was
Yeah,
it like
I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to remember. Was it like a 79, 81? I don't even remember what
well,
it
it's
was.
tough because even when you played it last year,
Right.
Lamar Jackson I think was rated fairly low, but his like speed or something was super great or breaking
ridiculous.
tackle. So he was like a cheat code anyways. Anyway, you just
Should
run with him and take off.
make Lamar Jackson a running back at that point.
Yeah, that's what you probably would do. Just switch him up, put him in the depth chart different. But Baker Mayfield coming in at an 83. Joe, you think it's gonna be when we recalculate it higher or lower?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it should be higher, or do you think it should be lower? You think 83 is right?
I think. Here's the thing is I'm thinking a little bit differently than I think EA would.
EA would rate him. Yeah.
I'm thinking the offense is returning. He's got better players now. The offense is filled right out. The roster wise, they look very explosive on paper. Freddie Kitchens is now the head coach. He's not going anywhere. Great relationship. I just think the chemistry is going to boom this year for the Browns. So I think it would be higher.
All right.
For me.
It is a bit higher when we recalculated the stats that they gave him with his short, his medium, his deep ball.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out at an 87 now. He moves
Okay.
up 4 ticks.
There you go.
From an
That's
83
what's up.
to an 87. All right. Now, Deshaun Watson, too. A lot of people say that he would be. Remember, forget that he was a 51 overall. Like,
Just
yes,
like
we will never
Mike Tackett's
forget.
in the house.
Yes, definitely. I love that here. Mike Tackett comes in. He shows up, comes in, opens the door, and drops us with some good knowledge here. The 51 overall, that's right. And the funny thing about that, too, is everybody wants to say, look at this at 42. He just beat his 40 time when he was, in the combine. It's like,
Listen, the guy's been
Did
in
you
the
see-
NFL forever.
Right, but did you see the stamina that he was in, when he came out? You know what I mean? He is
Yeah.
definitely in better shape
Way
now
better shape.
than
Way
he
better
was
shape.
then. You cannot
Absolutely.
deny that. And that's probably the reason why he knocked it down. Maybe, what was it? Like, it was only like 2/10 of a
yeah,
second.
it was
It wasn't
crazy.
even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's preposterous.
But also, that could
So-
also be the reason why in college he wasn't the starter.
yeah.
That's why Chad Henne was ahead of him
Yeah,
at Michigan.
and it's all
so.
about effort and what you do to try and make it through. So, I mean, there you go there. So, Deshaun Watson, a lot of our Texans fans here are really high on him. What was Madden going to give him? Well, they bring him in here at an 82 for Deshaun
okay.
Watson now. So, and it's time. If it was some of these guys, if we could average in the injury rating, I mean, it'd be a little different for some of these guys because that's what with their success comes injury sometimes with
That's
barring
true.
and that's why it's tough with Madden ratings
Yep.
and projections of what they're going to do. That's why our list from projections that we did this season is going to be different than anything that we're doing here with Madden because you're talking about the full team, how they're going to play. This is just stats like this guy's a 99 ball, this guy's this short,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this, and this.
Right.
So this is where they're grading Watson at 82.
82.
Do you think it should be higher or lower?
I think it should be a little bit higher. I understand he's still really young. He still makes a few mistakes here, maybe a few misguided thrown balls type of thing. But he's a good quarterback, and I think he has a really bright future. So I would definitely move that number up a little smidge, like maybe close to 84, 85.
Well, they bring it back in here at an 87 when I
Whoa.
recalculate it here.
Holy.
He jumps up to an 87, so 5 spots. Now you're seeing some of these guys start to climb back up. There used to be a 1-point difference.
Yeah.
Now he jumps. And there's one thing, too, that the knock is like you're talking about, his awareness, seeing the things, down the vision, down in the field, in the open field, making them bad decisions.
I mean,
the throws,
I guess
so.
you don't need great awareness when you got one of the best receivers on your squad.
Yeah,
either,
right.
so.
Yeah, that works too. The 99, you've got the
Right.
99,
DeAndre
and
Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. So I guess that's all that matters.
And then
Throw it to
Will
him.
Fuller too. Will Fuller's coming back. He's healthy now, so hopefully he could stay healthy. That offense could really take off if Will Fuller especially can stay healthy for that team.
Definitely. And now Dak Prescott, the other guy we love to talk about, especially with the contract situation he's got going on. Madden brings him in at an 81. So what do you think about that for your contract, Dak Prescott? You're only rated an 81, so you're not even in a conversation here with these other guys you want to get paid like.
And
So-
that's even EA saying 81. I'm just saying, they watch film too. They've noticed, he might have a great play action rating, something
he does,
like that.
Decent, yes.
But he might have a strong arm, accuracy. Maybe short to intermediate's really good, but deep not so good. And then when it comes to like the cerebral part of the game, I'm sorry, he's just not there.
Right.
So
but they're very friendly. But just let you know,
They are?
on their stats.
Oh,
when I
no.
crunched it.
Tell
Yes,
me.
they are.
No way.
All right. So you think it's gonna be higher? I'm gonna let you know. But why don't you take a guess of what he goes from an 81 to an
85.
86. 86. He moves up 5 spots again to an 86. All right, so now he's talking
That's
in
generous.
Drew Brees territory now when you look
Generous.
at the stats and how they gave
Way
it to him.
generous. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so
no
I think
way.
mainly they just wronged Drew Brees altogether in this whole thing.
No way.
Nope. And now the money man, Kirk Cousins. They are they're hard on him too, giving him an 81. Overall.
Wow.
Which
that low?
Yeah, they gave him an 81,
Wow.
which last year, that's
Look
why
at his
it's puzzling
stats.
again. Last year's stats
Look at
did
what he
great.
did.
So if you are going off of last year, how do you not calculate that into
my
this? But you
God.
did for other people.
And it's
the
not
Madden
like-
formula, like I said, is harder to figure out
And
than women.
Right, and we already know that EA doesn't project ratings or anything
No,
like that.
no,
So, but last year, who do you have? Adam Thielen, one of the best receivers last year statistically. He had Stephon Diggs, one of the best deep receivers. I'm sorry, Kyle Rudolph at tight end. He had all these weapons. How is he dipping down? Because he's not losing anybody. The offensive line is a little bit stronger with their draft pick and stuff. I'm sorry. I'm kind of lost here. How does Kirk Cousins go, wow?
Yeah, an 81. So then I do the calculations now with the ratings they gave
Redone.
me. What is it?
It's got to be improved.
Only by one they get. It's
Duh,
an 82.
no way.
It's an 82. So
What?
they basically
No
harshly
way.
rated them on what they're going to rate them.
Wow.
And they were
dude,
true to
no
what they
way.
rated them right here,
No.
an 81. That's what it is. So no drastic change
Wrong
there.
again.
And now you are
just saying you fucked up.
Yeah. All right, you're an Oakland Raiders fan.
I
All right,
am.
We're all the way down to Derek Carr now. So right
Yeah.
here in our second tier here out of our
It's okay because I already know
top
this is going to
32.
be a low
Now-
rating
now
because
this list too is on. I'll just bring it up here because I didn't bring it up before. Now these are all people, 32 guys who potentially could be the starters here. And we're taking rookies out of it, except for Kyler Murray because he's going to be the
He's a
starter
shoo-in.
for the Cardinals. So barring something like Case Keenum getting beat out by Dwayne Haskins and
Haskins,
things
yeah.
like that,
gonna
that
happen.
could be different with this list. But we decided to go with the 32 starters here. We're at Derek Carr, and they are shaming Derek Carr and giving him an
definitely.
80.
100%.
Now,
That's what they do.
You think that should be higher or lower, and by how much? What do you think?
I mean, I'm sorry, but like you're looking at last year's roster with no weapons to this year's roster, more than enough weapons to go around. I'm sorry. It's got to be. I mean, yes, I get it. It's all, on paper right now. There's no really results or anything, but this is where you kind of have to project. You can't really go off of last season. Last season was abysmal for Derek Carr. He didn't have weapons to throw to. He had Jared Cook. That was it. He had Jared Cook to throw to at a tight end, and he just kept throwing to him. Had over 1,000 yards and all that. So I think now with a new and improved team, a much improved weaponry at his disposal, in another year in this offense. Here that's one thing that not a lot of people know about Derek Carr is one of these quarterbacks, one of the few quarterbacks that have gone through a lot of offensive playbooks. So I'm sorry, like I think with another season with the same offense with John Gruden, a new wide receiving core at his disposal, I think it's got to be higher than that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, right here they improve it by one. He's an 81.
Just one.
He's an 81.
Come on, man.
And so they were harsh on him on the stats.
I'm sorry. I would go at least 84 at the minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum's got to be
that.
84.
Yeah. All right, now he's tied here at an 80 with Dalton, at Andy Dalton.
That's bullshit.
So that's what I mean. When you try to do these comparisons, that's why when I do these ratings, again, you have to
can't.
try and figure, like, dude, if I ask you a straight-up question, man, who you taking?
Yeah.
Derek Carr and Andy Dalton. I don't think it's going to be much of a debate. Maybe a little bit, but come on, man.
I mean,
are
you know the
saying-
Bengals fans are going to say Derek Carr.
Yeah, exactly. See, so, that's the funny thing about it is like when you look at these. So he's rated an 80. along
Wow.
with Derek Carr.
Wow.
Now, do you think Dalton, when you crunch the numbers that
Wow.
they gave us, again, with the short accuracy, the play action on
Yeah.
the run, all that stuff, throwing power, we averaged it all together, got it all out from the data they gave us,
Yeah.
and Andy Dalton is,
It's going to be higher.
what do you think it is? You think it's an 81, just like?
No, they're gonna get there because Andy Dalton's been. See, here's the problem is that Andy Dalton's been in the same offense from for a long time.
Yeah, this will be the first.
This will be
year
the
to
first
define-
time where
Yes.
actually no, it'll be the second time I think because Hugh Jackson when he took it over he kind of changed things a little bit up there. But Zach Taylor is now the head coach there, so yeah, it's going to be a new offense for him. So now we're going to see next year. Looking next year, we're projecting. I think Andy Dalton's going to have a bad year. So,
There you go.
but
He's gonna go do a 72.
but for this season, I'm sorry. Like, I know it's going to be higher. I'm going to say 84 or 83.
He's an 82, so he's going to
All
be
right.
2 ticks higher. But now that places him above Derek Carr,
right, which is
here.
ridiculous.
Right there with Kirk Cousins talk. So,
Kirk Cousins should
now
be higher. I'm
here's
sorry.
my interesting guy. I love to talk about because I can't stand the the love he gets. I don't understand this dude. All right, Marcus Mariota, guys drafted number 2 overall in
Yep,
the draft.
that's
all
true.
right?
A fact.
And there, yes, he has gone through a different, offensive coordinator.
It's
here
almost like every
and
single
there.
season almost.
But this year again will be, 2 in a row, basically same system.
It should be. It definitely should be the
Maybe
same
a little
system.
different variants. But Marcus Mariota, the guy who last year threw 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, and the year before did pretty much the same thing. And the year before that happened to be his 1 year where he had more touchdowns than picks, to
Right.
where you thought he was trending to be that player, and it hasn't really panned out so well. So, but even going on to last year's, like you said, if you're trying to figure out the formula, which you shouldn't probably try because you can't,
You'll go insane.
you'll
Don't
go
even bother.
insane. A guy who throws 13 touchdowns and 15 picks, they rate him at a 79. Okay?
Okay.
Just a tick under Derek Carr and under Andy Dalton. See, I'm getting upset about this rate, Joe. I think I'm giving myself a headache. All right. Marcus Mariota is a 79. Now, when I go through the ratings that they give me and I crunch their numbers,
Okay.
what do you think it is? Do you think it stays true to what they give him as an overall 79, or you think it's going to be lower or higher?
I think if anything, it's the same, if not lower.
Joe, it's higher.
How higher?
If you crunch the numbers they give us, it's an 84.
No
So
way!
You're telling me that depending on the ratings you're giving me,
Come on.
that deep ball accuracy, short, medium, on the run, I could see yes. I could see maybe play action. But an 84, for Marcus Mariota, yes, he could maybe escape a sack, but I don't know. He wasn't doing too well on that last year, and to where he gets injured.
I'm sorry, but like the one thing with the Mariota situation, which is unlike any other quarterback in the whole league, is you're right. He's gone through a lot of playbooks. So it's almost like he's got to readapt everything over and over and over. I think because of the poor play that he's shown, the rating
That's
has
why
to,
they don't
the
trend
ra-
it to lower. They give him the
rating
benefit of the doubt.
I think here's the other thing too is like here's where I'm going to start rambling now.
Yeah.
Where Marcus Mariota when he first came into the league, no weapons. Okay, it took them a couple of years until they got Corey Davis. You know what I mean? A few years until they drafted a legitimate starting wide receiver. Beforehand, they were scraping by with Rashard Matthews, with Tajay Sharp, who came up through the system. But he still has yet to have a complete receiving core that is a legitimate starter every spot. He has Corey Davis. They've made an improvement there. They drafted another receiver. Hopefully he becomes the answer for number 2 spot. Adam Humphries gets added to the Titans. So that's a great signing for them. So he's always had a great tight end, Delaney Walker. And the running back has not been utilized enough. So, I mean, I think with some improvements and staying in the same system, it's gonna tremendously help Marcus Mariota. That's where I could see his rating going up, but that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So because of the past couple of seasons' results, you can't give him an 84 rating. I think he has to stay around 79, 80 at the most.
So they originally got it right, but when their stats, again, they
Right.
must be just saying that he's just overall, again, has to tick down because of the injuries or some of the other things. That's why they graded it
Right.
lower than what their numbers show it should be.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just had to go on a tangent.
Yeah. So, this is funny, though, but this is where I kind of have an issue, too, as well,
Yeah.
is because when they give him the overall rating, he is sitting there at 79 with Matthew Stafford. When I look at Matthew
Whoa.
Stafford
Wait a second.
and, did you forget that I didn't even say his name yet? And
Sta-
Marcus Mariota,
Let me get this right.
they're both rated a 79, Joe.
No way.
I
You-
can't get
no,
this.
No way.
Hey,
Look at that.
Hollywood Gaming.
Hollywood Gaming is
joins
in there.
Holy moly.
All right.
Yes. All right. Hollywood Gaming. Last week's show, MVP, Hollywood Gaming in the
MVP's
house.
here. MVP,
Excellent.
watch out.
Yes, he says the ratings are crazy this year. Chargers is like an 89. Yeah, right. I know.
It's
And-
amazing.
And
you
I
know,
can see, like, if we go rate a team, I mean, I could see a little bit of that going off of the team's success from the prior
And the
year.
personnel that they
kind of
have.
got to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you look at individuals, though, like what we're talking about with the ratings, and then when they give them individual ratings, like the short, medium, deep ball
Yep.
ratings, and then all of a sudden you spit out a number, a 97 or stuff like that, or 99, I'm like, well, let me get this straight. A 91 plus a 92
Yeah.
plus this, and then you average them out. That doesn't equal 97. Where are you getting this from?
you know what we
I
should
mean?
do though? We should actually we should cross-reference Madden's team ratings, their overall ratings, and try to figure it out. So every player's
All the
overall
players'
rating,
Wow,
and then
that's a lot of math, Joe. I don't know
and
if
then-
I'm ready for that.
and then figure out what the true rating is, if that is legit.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
I think we should come up with our list and just re-rate it and give have us give our ratings of everybody, and everybody, we'll rate the quarterbacks and stuff.
yeah.
How about that? We'll do that, and so because right now we're just averaging about with from the numbers and the data that they give us.
I don't even know how you figure out a number for this stuff.
We're
though.
just we're
Doesn't
doing
make
we're
sense.
doing better already. When you said
I know.
before, like I'd give this guy an
know.
85 or this
I
and
know.
this. But all right, anyways, but
Hollywood.
Gaming in the house, Mike Tack in the house joining in. Also,
And Hollywood is he's entered now after he became the MVP for last week. He
Yeah.
entered in the end of the year contest.
That's right.
now.
When we do a big giveaway, it's going to be pretty amazing. And he might be interested to know that next week we have a great special guest that we're going to be doing
Ooh.
for an interview next week. We have Jeremiah Spicer.
We're
who's gonna-
spicing it up.
That's right. That's what he says with his football camp. He is an XFL hopeful here.
Yep.
He's got a great backstory. Oh, my God. It's amazing the hard work
It is
this
a
guy
great
has put
story.
through and the things that he's gone through and the NFL teams. And it's an amazing story. I'm excited to have this guy
Mm-hmm. Very excited.
next week. He's going to be doing an interview with us. So make sure everybody stay tuned
Check
next
us out
week.
next week,
And
baby.
it's going to be pretty awesome. And we're going to be talking to him. And hopefully
be
from
fun.
there we'll get some more XFL players and potential NFL players too as well on our show. So tune in for that too as well. All right, and now is Matthew Stafford. I brought it up. He's a 79. Now, do you think after doing all the numbers, do you think he equals Mariota here and goes back up to an 84? Or he's
He's got to go higher than Mariota.
all right. He's going to be an 84, Joe. They're giving
No,
him an 84.
you gotta be
When I do the
kidding me.
numbers.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I just
That
don't get it.
doesn't make
Again,
any logical sense whatsoever.
And what's funny is when Golden Tate came out in an interview and said that the best quarterback he's had so far in his career has been Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't argue with that. When you and everybody wants to, but yeah, it's Russell Wilson, this and this. I can understand.
Detroit
that.
Lions
Listen,
never make
listen,
the
listen, man.
playoffs and everything. But I'm
Listen.
sorry, if you have to watch Stafford to really appreciate his game.
Yeah, and I think if you look at standard quarterback, Russell Wilson is a better, maybe I'd put it this way, a better athlete than Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford,
obviously.
it gets banged up in here and there. Russell Wilson makes things happen with his legs to become available to make some good throws, and he does have a tight spiral, good accuracy there. But overall, Matthew Stafford has broken many records. He's up there in his first couple years here in the NFL, up there with some great names. Great quarterback, and still the accuracy, toughness, everything together that you want out of a leader. Russell Wilson, when Golden Tate was playing with him, was developing himself and trying to get his his bearings on things.
Right.
He was just named the starter that season, out of nowhere. He wasn't even originally the starter. So when Golden Tate was playing with him, it's understandable for him to say that he wasn't the best quarterback he's played for right now. You know what I'm saying? So when he goes to Detroit, plays with Matthew Stafford, it's like, oh, this guy already knows what's going on. He's been in the league. He's got it all going on. So
Matt Stafford,
I can understand
he's
that.
one of my favorite quarterbacks, currently, and he's not only you say tough, he's the epitome of tough.
Mm-hmm.
He stays in. He stayed in a game where he had a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
He had a banged up ankle.
Yep.
He still stayed in the game. Drove the Lions down the field to win the game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. This guy he's an amazing quarterback. I mean, a rifle for an arm, a cannon. He's deadly accurate. I mean, this guy if you give this guy any kind of time, he will carve your defense up.
Yeah, Hollywood agrees right here. You said everything you just said. An arm for a cannon, absolutely. And, again, our re-ratings are just going off of the data that they've given us, and we're trying to figure out if it equals what number they all of a sudden has of an overall.
I didn't even read that.
You read that, and there it is. It's word for word almost.
Hollywood, me and you, man. We're
There
right
you go.
here. Me
And
and you.
yeah, that's why we're kind of blown away that Madden even gave him a 79. And in the conversation with Marcus Mariota, I don't get this, dude. I don't understand that.
I'm sorry.
All right, now a guy who hasn't had a lot of experience.
Okay.
He was on that 6-game winning streak, undefeated. We're talking about Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited to see him last year, but then he ended up with torn an ACL, I think, and just running in practice.
Jimmy,
Yeah, I see you, man. So, yeah,
Jimmy
hell yeah.
G, all you got to do is slide or get out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's funny because Jimmy Garoppolo just likes to tease the 49er
Mm-hmm.
fans. I think that's what it really is, because just when everybody gets on board, like they saw his 5-0 at the end of his first season with the Niners, everyone's all excited, like, man, wait until he gets healthy. He comes back next year. Comes back next year. What happens? He's doing great throughout the year, and then he gets injured and done for us. When is he going to stay? I'm curious to see what the Niners organization can do, this offense can do, if he just stays healthy all season long.
And talk about the 49ers quick. I looked at some of the defensive, the corners. I saw the ratings for that.
Yeah.
It might blow your mind with some of that.
I might just throw my
I think Richard Sherman might be like the second highest
Stop.
corner. I swear.
Stop.
I think they gave him a 93. I think he's a 93. I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe somebody can look that up and post that in
No
here.
way.
But I think so.
No
so that'll be fun
freaking
when
way.
we go through our corners.
He had a terrible season last year.
Yeah, and then even look at his again.
And he's older now.
You can talk about season all you want though too, but I mean again, if I look at you, I'm like, Joe, all right, you're 210 or 215 is pretty accurate. Well, you're strong.
being
though.
very generous,
So, all
and I
right.
like it.
Well, all right. Well, I'll give you what. Well, you're about not 99 strength, but I'd say you're about an 85 or something like that.
Okay.
You're pretty strong, but not the strongest. 'Cause
Right.
Again, I know my levels.
Right.
Somebody that's super diesel,
yeah.
Look at Terry Crews. He's a freaking 99.
Terry Crews
probably.
is a juggernaut,
Yeah, you know what
bro.
I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I'll give you an 85 or something like that. That's your stat for that.
Right,
This
right.
is their stat for that.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of more. It should be more cut and dry in that sense.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at somebody like that, like Mariota and Stafford, it's like
Right,
your
I see
decision-making
what
is
you're
terrible.
saying. The
And-
ratings got to dictate, the position of each guy. So like,
yeah, because
if
that
they're
shouldn't
saying
fluctuate per year. That's
they're
what I'm
saying
saying.
Drew Brees is what? In what place is he in right now? Drew Brees.
Right now, he's in fourth at a 92, and
Yeah,
then
I'm
when
sorry.
I did the stats that they gave me, it only came out to an 86,
Right.
which is retarded.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, but I mean
Terrible.
that's crazy.
Terrible.
Yeah, with Hopkins being a 99, I don't agree. I mean, his catching is 99. He don't drop balls, but
Right.
when I think of elite receivers, his name doesn't come to mind first. Oh, so that's interesting
Really?
right there.
Wow.
All right. So
Okay.
All right. So Hollywood then.
All right.
All right. So who do you
Hollywood.
think if he's not in the top elite?
Let me-
What names
yeah.
would you have?
Who
in
would
there
you
in the elite?
consider a 99 overall wide receiver then?
Yeah, that's the question. I'm sure.
I mean-
you gotta give it out there.
I'm sorry, but DeAndre Hopkins, he is an elite receiver. In my mind, in my opinion, I'm not forcing my opinion on anybody else, but I think the world of the guy. I think he's amazing.
There you go. Oh, Mike Tackett joins in.
Who's Mike got?
Trubisky. was 11-3 as a starter and is mid-70 overall. As a Packers fan, I'm insulted. He could shock a lot of people this year.
Absolutely, Mike. And we agree with you.
There you go.
We haven't gotten to Mitch Trubisky yet.
No, he's there. There you go. Mike Tackett throws in as an Antonio Brown is a 99 in my opinion. I don't know though.
I don't know.
You got to look at it because you're talking about individual stats. That would be he's the same as he was last year. Another year older. Are you really the same guy? Are you even
I think he
still
will
a
be.
99? He'll be decent. But again, you're talking about when they talk about Tom Brady
you're
erasing
saying,
father time and this and this
Okay,
and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Right, I got you.
I mean, is he really going from a 99 every year?
But here's the thing with Antonio Brown, he's the exception to the rule in terms of age.
Mm-hmm.
The guy works out Listen, I follow Antonio Brown on YouTube, okay? Ever since he became
Mm-hmm. I
a
watched
Raider,
him. I
I
saw
follow
some
him
of
on
the
YouTube.
plays this year,
Every
too, that
single
he's been
day,
doing.
there's a new video of him
Yep.
working out somewhere.
There is. I watched
He
him
is the
today.
most physically fit athlete,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in the NFL. I mean, I've never seen anybody work out as much as he does or work as hard as he does. And a lot of NFL players, current or former, will tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown, to me, I know he's going to be 31, but I think he's going to be every bit the same Antonio Brown as last year. However, this is the only part of the equation where I think he's not a 99. Is he's on a completely new team. He's on with a new offense, completely different offense, new team, new quarterback, new everything. So I don't think you can give him a 99 rating because there's a lot of different variables that are unfamiliar with his situation now.
Yeah, but that's where it's clouded because if you're talking about individual stats, like I said, I give you your strength as an 85, this and this.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have to do with NFL scheme or what he's playing in. It's what he has to bring to the table when
Okay.
he's there. You know what I'm saying?
But if it's
like Amari Cooper's catching rating is probably, the drops are ridiculous. So
Yeah.
his rating would only be like, for me, he's got the drops. His catching would be like a 75.
well, that's
You know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying is
But that
Antonio
doesn't
Brown.
change if he goes to, like he went to Dallas. I don't think that really changed that much. He's still going to drop as many, I think. Whether he throws somebody different thrown to him, right?
I mean, I'm just saying, Antonio Brown. If you're going to do strength rating and agility and all that other stuff, I don't think those really change. I think he's still the same player. But if you're going to go to, it's hard to give him a rating, based on what he did, what he accomplished last with the Steelers last. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I can
So
hear you there.
I think in those terms, I think his rating should be a little bit lower because it's unexpected for the season that's coming.
All right, here we go. Now, Hollywood, this is getting interesting here. I like this little tandem here with Mike Tackett and Hollywood Gaming. Not Brown in my mind. New team and stuff and age like you said, but I would say from last year, even though he slowed down at the end of the season last year, maybe Michael Thomas, and he's has a better quarterback throwing to him.
Yeah.
So that's
okay.
That's an interesting thing, though, too.
But
now,
here's
say,
the thing
I
with
don't know.
Thomas. With Michael Thomas, he's obviously he's a way different type of receiver. He's more of a physical. He's more of a physical receiver with speed. He does have great hands, but the one thing that I noticed with that offense with the Saints and Drew Brees is that Michael Thomas doesn't go deep a lot. He's usually that's why when you see his catches, his receptions, it's sky high. He's like one of the highest to have the most catches
Yep.
almost every year, and that's because he gets a lot of those intermediate short catches, and then he turns upfield afterwards. So Thomas is a very different receiver. Could he be a 99? Yeah, there could be an argument for Michael Thomas to be a 99 overall. Absolutely.
I think all this conversation is making me brainstorm right now. I think we got to do wide receiver brackets sometime. Pair them up because when you're trying to talk about maybe Antonio Brown here, you got DeAndre Hopkins, and he says Michael Thomas here in the batch. He's saying that not Brown and not Hopkins, but maybe Thomas. Now you put them all together and you ask somebody, who do you think's better or who's more elite or who's an elite and who's not? One can only be elite. The other two aren't. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take
That's
Hopkins.
a conversation, right? Yeah.
I'm taking Hopkins.
But that's a good conversation piece. So that's why I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe we should
'Cause
do
here's the-
brackets or something. This
because-
is interesting. The different, different
yeah,
opinions people have.
You're right. And here's the thing too is this is why I would take Hopkins is because out of those 3 receivers that we just mentioned, Hopkins, I've seen him do a lot more things in terms of he's a deep threat. He can take the roof off the top of a defense. He can beat you up short. He can go across the middle. He catches everything. He's fast. He's physical. He's everything that I like in a receiver. He's got size. Thomas, he's very strong. He's got size. He's got great hands. He does have some speed, but I don't see him try to just flat out beat the safety deep. And that's predicated on the offense that the Saints run and where he fits. But for me, I've seen Hopkins do everything. To me, he's more of a complete receiver, in my opinion. Second, I would say Michael Thomas would be it, because both. And you got to remember too is both 2 out of the 3 are young still, so they're still in their prime. Antonio Brown, as much as I love him as a player, he's 31 years old. How much more does he have in the tank? I still think he's a physical beast, but again, his leash is a little shorter than the others. They're in the prime, so
yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation to have. And who knows, maybe we'll do something like that along the lines, later on. But I mean, all those guys were, I think, in our list, in our projected next year.
They were,
and then near the top. Some of them not so much. So
Brown was
that's
lower on the top 10.
Yep. So I mean, that's an interesting concept to talk about with all that stuff. But all right, going back to our list that we have here, what sparked all this again? Jimmy G. I don't think we even rounded upon this and finished it off, but they gave him a 78. But with the ratings that they gave me,
it's got to be higher.
He was higher, and they put him at an 84 as well.
Okay,
so
I'm
he
okay with
actually
that.
went up 6 ticks right there.
I'm okay with
which,
that.
Again, if he actually starts to play again and
Right.
and is projected there, I could see that's why they think that's going to happen. But then when they rated him lower, it's due to we're not sure exactly what we've seen. This potentially is where he should be, but due to injuries and stuff like that, can't.
I'm okay with that rating though.
Yeah, I know. I can
think-
see that where he could be. He looks like he could be at 84.
And the only
But
ti-
the
and
good
the
thing
only
with
time,
the seasons too that they do now is it fluctuates during the season, so you're going to see
Right.
all these change anyways.
yeah, week to week they usually make changes in Madden, but with Jimmy G, I think that's a decent rating from 84. Now it could be higher, it could be because if you're looking at his track record when he starts for that team, he's killing it. He has George Kittle to throw to. He's got some young, youthful receivers that he got. Dante Pettis. He's got Deebo Samuels that's coming in as a rookie. So there's some in Marquise Goodwin. He's another speedster on that team. If Jimmy G could just stay healthy, man, I'm telling you, I really think they could take off.
I told you right
offensively.
there. Mag Tackett delivers here. He's got it right here. All right, I'm going to give him to DJ Horn. He's got it. The top 4 cornerbacks. Oh, I turned it down. Top 4 cornerbacks right here. Jalen Ramsey at a 96. Stephon Gilmore at a 94. Richard Sherman at a 93. And then
No
Patrick
way.
Peterson right underneath him at
Get
at
outta here.
92.
Get out.
That's what I thought was
EA,
crazy
get
right
out.
there. Yo, you're
Get
going to
out.
put Richard Sherman in front of Patrick Peterson,
Ramsey's always been like the number 1 corner for Madden the last couple of years. Stephon Gilmore, he does deserve the 94 rating because he's one of the better corners. Even after he got traded
Yeah,
and went
even
to the
after the
Patriots.
trade, yeah.
And then Richard Sherman, I'm sorry, EA.
Dude, there was multiple videos
I-
that were put out in training camp last year when Goodwin was beating him, and a lot of them just getting beat.
All right, EA, you got to be kidding me. Like seriously, Richard Sherman, the 3rd highest corner. I mean, did you watch the OTAs last season? Did you watch training camp? He was getting beat by his own wide receivers on the 49ers. I mean,
Yeah.
not just beat. I mean, burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
And Richard Sherman, when he did play last season, again, toasted all the time. Whenever there was a fast receiver, guess what? And they
Yeah.
were lined up on Richard Sherman. They were going deep because they knew they could beat him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is absolutely atrocious. I
Yeah,
cannot believe that rating. And then here's the thing, Patrick Peterson, like 92. I mean, not for nothing, but he's still very good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he's another guy who's going to tend to start to decline a little bit now. He's getting a little older. I mean, 92 I think is still a little high for him. He's still really good, don't get me wrong. But I think maybe 90, maybe 89, somewhere around there I would be okay with.
I'd still keep him roughly around there, like you said, maybe 92, 91. A little better than what you were saying, but Richard Sherman getting 93 just blows my mind.
That's insane.
And Hollywood Gaming
I
here
don't
says
get
the
it.
same thing here. He hasn't shown much since they went to the Super Bowl in his mind. And
You're
yeah,
right.
I agree.
You're right,
yeah,
Hollywood,
and then
yeah.
he came off that injury. So you're talking about a player that you're going to rate a 93 coming off an injury. The one team isn't going to sign him that he was with originally.
No.
He goes to the 49ers, signs a team-friendly deal
Yeah.
with incentives that's saying, it's a prove-it deal.
Ugh.
You're going to pay me this much, so then if I get bonuses, it's because I'm doing well. What does that tell you? He barely believes in himself. You know what I mean? To try and say, all right, well, if I could show you this, then I could get paid a seven. This is what I deserve. This is how much I am. Especially coming off that one playoff game when blowing up in front of the camera saying I'm the best corner in the game and all this other stuff. You don't hear him
mad, bro?
saying that anymore.
You mad, bro?
Yeah, no, you mad?
You mad, bro?
I don't hear him saying that anymore, bro.
Listen,
I don't hear it.
It's just ridiculous. I can't even talk because that just I
See,
can't
that's
believe
what
it.
happens.
You know, Richard Sherman as a 93, insane. I don't know what. We need to move on.
All right, move on from the 49ers. All right, Jimmy G, he's an 84. All right, so that moves up to 84. He moves up 6 spots. Nick Foles now. Now, this
Nick
is
Foles,
an
what we
interesting
got?
guy, too, again. Because everybody knows what you're getting out of him. You know what I mean? And
just
this is what I
don't
like
know.
about it is they stay down to earth here and they give him a
Okay.
77. So here's your rankings here is what
Because
Madden
he was a
gives him.
backup.
Yes, he's been a lifer backup. Tried
But
to
now
be
he's a
Didn't
starter.
really happen, but now he's a starter. He's seen his times as starting here and there. Came in when the Carson Wentz went down with the injury, led his team to the Super Bowl and being the MVP and winning. I mean, you
Absolutely.
can't deny him that. But again, Madden I think kind of gets it close or roundabouts here. Come back to down to normal level here and what he is. 77 I kind of like here is where they rate him. But when you go through the actual stats that they give him as far as breaking the sack, short, medium, deep throw,
Oh, yeah,
all that stuff.
We still calculated that, didn't
Throw
we?
popular. Yeah, we calculated this
Terrible.
stuff. You know what they rate him as?
What's up?
It's an 83.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he moves up a few spots, it's 6 spots here. But now if you say,
I'm okay with that.
so you're closer to him being an 83 than a 77, or what do you think,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah?
I'm okay with 83, and I'll tell you why. Because with that rating, you saw what he could do. You saw what he could do with the Eagles when he was given the starting role. Okay, he took him to the Super Bowl, like you mentioned. He became the MVP. He did a great job. He had a little bit of a rocky start last season when Carson Wentz went down, but then he came back and played well. Now, here's the thing that that EA does not keep in consideration. He is not a backup anymore. He's not a backup. Now they have to project as a starter how well do they think he's going to be. Because now he's on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm sorry, that defense, that offensive line, he's got very young receivers to work with, and he's got Leonard Fournette in the backfield, so amongst others,
Yeah.
Corey Grant.
Right.
So I think if you're projecting, I think that's an okay rating to start
I'd
with,
say
because
maybe an 80.
I think he's going to do well as long as he, like I said, and this goes for anybody. You got to get the playbook down. You got to establish chemistry with the receivers, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Mike Tackett joins in here, gives us some of the ratings here for Richard Sherman. His awareness 99, speed 88, acceleration is 89, agility 95, strength is 79. All right, that's some of his stats. But you know what, Mike? Could you do zone coverage? Even what is it, man-to-man coverage? Do they do man coverage?
Yep.
Man coverage, zone coverage. That's part of it too, where you would average some of that because that kind of matters. His speed, again, he doesn't have the
sorry.
speed, which we know.
I don't think he has speed.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's slower.
Yes.
I think 88 is too high. I think the 89 acceleration is too high. I think agility is absurdly too high. Is he still athletic? Yes. But I think 95, I mean, really? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't see it. Strength? Okay. I could see 79. I could even see 81 for strength because he is still a strong corner. But, man, I think,
and again,
and awareness.
Awareness, they're
Awareness
so
is a
quick
99?
to throw awareness out there.
Because I'll tell you right now, I've seen many plays with Richard Sherman getting back shoulder throws on him, and he gets turned all the way around.
Rated team, 89. Hollywood says 89 is the Eagles' number 1 rated team. But you said also, what wasn't the Chargers 89 too? Were they rated as 89
Yeah,
there too as well?
I think so.
Eagles and Chargers are up there. Eagles though, how are they rated that though even too? Because I think did they get slightly better? Did their roster get slightly better? I thought they lost a few players, but
They only
they
lost.
did get Jordan
the
Howard.
The only
They
guy
got
they
Deshaun Jackson.
they
though.
lost
He's
Michael
aged, though.
Bennett, but I mean, come on. He's good,
Huh.
but they still had a good D line
Interesting.
before him.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
you got to remember too is like they got a youth movement going on, especially
Yeah.
in the defensive backs. They got that LeBlanc kid who came on real strong for them at corner, and they have other guys that are just stepping up. So I could. You know what? I mean, I would have to actually go back and look at that roster.
Yeah.
But I think that they still have they have some nice gems that going into the season. Maybe it's an 89 team, maybe, but it could be lower too. It could be an 80, 86. It could be 85.
Right. If Chargers were 85, okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, when you talk about awareness, dude, this always blows my mind too. Awareness. What do you mean by awareness? Like, what does that even mean? Because if you could look at me and say this guy's an 89 or 99 awareness, 99 awareness, but then his zone coverage is garbage or something like say his zone coverage is an 85 and his man coverage is say 92. How does he have 99 awareness when some of those other coverages?
Because he's
aren't
aware
worth it?
he's getting beat.
I mean,
He's
that's
aware
what I'm
he's
saying.
getting beat.
What are you aware of if you're not that great in zone or something like that? If you have 85 zone coverage, you can't have a 99 awareness because you're obviously not aware. You're not reading the quarterback right or the play properly. I would think, right? Or because then
Here's
there's
the
even
thing.
play recognition.
But here's the
what
thing.
The frick? I don't know.
But awareness
Blows my mind.
is got to be around you, around the
you?
player.
Okay, all right.
So if like for Richard Sherman, like I'm sorry, but 99 awareness for Richard Sherman, I'm sorry. Like I just said before,
99 awareness.
back shoulder throws happen.
Yeah.
I don't see him being very
That's
aware
true.
to know it's
I agree
coming.
with that.
I mean, that's the part that I don't get. And then play recognition is pre-snap.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what that
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Play recognition is pre-snap. So
Uh-huh.
a defensive player can look at an
You look at
offense
it
and
and
say,
say, oh,
okay,
they're
this
gonna
is going to
run
be
it, or they're
a
gonna pass
jet
it.
sweep to the
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
That's play recognition. So awareness is them as an individual around them, the area around them, what they're aware of. You know what I mean? And play recognition is pre-snap, being able to figure out the offense.
All right, yeah. So all right, man. So,
But I'm sorry,
I knew
but-
this topic was.
I mean,
gonna be
I
pretty
don't
crazy
know
here.
how. I really don't understand how you can give a 99 awareness to anybody. Because to be
again,
honest
I
with
don't
you,
know.
from time and time again, there are plays that fool just about everybody in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the Statue of Liberty play get brought out into the NFL recently, and it fooled everybody because it's not something you see
The
every
Philly
day.
special. Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of thing happens. So to give anybody, a 99 awareness rating is kind of crazy.
89 coverage, zone coverage 97. Zone coverage 97. Are you out of your freaking mind?
Crazy.
See, there you go.
No way. No,
Oh,
I'm
show
telling
us
you
some
right
love
now.
to some Richard
I'm
Sherman.
sorry, 49er fans
Yeah.
out there. I'm sorry, but Richard Sherman is not as good as Madden is trying to make
Wow,
him.
dude. That's pretty crazy. I wonder
gets
if
beat.
I wonder if he has money invested in EA or something like that. Who knows?
He might be a
I
part
don't
of
know. All right, let's
Umbrella
Let's
Corporation.
finish up our list here. Let's go ahead and run through here. We got Lamar Jackson. We're up to next.
Oh, great.
Yes. Well, Lamar Jackson, did he move up a tick from last year? I think maybe it was a 60-something last year. He's a 76 now.
I think they're giving him way too much
Yeah,
credit.
they are, because he changed. He stepped in for Joe Flacco, changed the
can
way they
run.
started winning. Yeah, and that's basically that they were one of the highest running offenses in the league, especially going into the playoffs. So he's at a 76 now. When we calculated all the stats that they give him, so what do you think? You think it goes up? What they have him here?
76 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And after we figure out the rating.
Yeah, his throwing. Now, again, his throwing accuracy. This and this. With the
I think
the
it's gotta be a
speed
little
goes
lower.
up high, huh?
In my opinion, I think
Yeah.
it would have to either be the same or lower.
Some of them were the stats were lower, but you know what? He rounds out to an 82.
Get the hell out of
Yeah.
here.
So a lot of love for him in the stats
Come on.
department.
I know he's a
for
starter. I get
Lamar
it. I know he's a
Jackson.
starter, but come on.
Basically, I think they only diminished him a little bit. I think at deep ball, I think it was. I'm not sure.
That's because he
but-
can't throw deep.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, you would have thought they would
Listen,
have made it like a 32
has
or
anybody?
something.
I mean, have you had the opportunity to watch Lamar Jackson play a whole game in Baltimore? I know I have.
Mm-hmm.
And if a defense is able to contain him and not let him run, he panics.
Mm-hmm.
And when he panics, he just throws the ball up. There's so many interceptions that were because of him panicking and just throwing the ball
Yeah.
up for grabs.
Yeah.
I can't
His turnover
believe
ratio is-
his rating is even an 82.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. So
Wow.
Jameis Winston, a guy who again turned the ball over at the wrong opportunities, but has had I think more individual success than Lamar Jackson. I think, and
Absolutely.
better attributes.
Absolutely.
He's at a 76 there with Lamar.
He's got to be higher than Lamar.
He's got to be.
Gotta be.
He's underneath. This is what blows my mind too. Again,
Oh,
he's
here we
underneath Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota's a 79. Jameis Winston's a 76. How does this happen? Like, I don't get this. I mean, yes, Jameis Winston isn't. Last year actually he played fairly well towards the end when he finally won the starting job. For the third time I think. We're just looking to see if he can get back to that second
Wow.
season I think he had, and limit their turnovers. But he's rated lower than Marcus Mariota, and I
Wow.
don't get that. And here at a 76, now we crunch the numbers
I'm sorry.
that they give him overall individual ratings, and he rounds out at an 84 now. Now I can see him not even that high. Maybe I give him an 80.
I'd go 82.
82.
I'd go 82.
All right. I can maybe work with that. We'll see, give or take.
'Cause I
All
think
depending again, interception here and there or whatever.
At least he can throw the ball.
He could throw more accurate than Lamar Jackson, and why he's even listed underneath.
That's crazy.
Lamar Jackson too. I just don't get it.
No.
But at least when you look at the ratings that they gave him, 84, two ticks better than
Yeah.
Lamar
Okay.
Jackson. So thank you. But again, if you look at him, is he 2 ticks better than Lamar Jackson? I think he's a little even better
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
And when we re-rated the ratings all together, he's an 84, which ties Marcus Mariota. 2 ticks lower than Drew Brees.
Wow.
That is what
Wow,
blows my
EA.
mind with all
What
the
are you
stats that they
doing?
have here
Seriously.
throwing at me. Your ratings. All right, now
Unreal.
everybody's favorite Fitzmagic, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I put him in here because I'm not sure if Josh Rosen is even going to win the job.
As of
here.
right
Right
now,
now
it
he's
looks
not.
like Fitzpatrick is running away
So
with it.
he's a 75.
I mean,
Again,
training camp hasn't happened, but we'll see.
and he's been over. He's like Nick Foles, kind of in that sense. He's been in that type of deal. Starter, backup, starter, backup.
yeah.
Performs well enough to get a starting job, and then when he gets it, doesn't do so well. So another guy takes it. But then again, when that's backup job, does well. Give him another look. But he's at a 75. You look at all of his attributes, you round it out and see what he comes out to. Is it higher or lower? I think it's about 75 is about right.
I mean, me
at
personally,
Fitzmagic.
I probably would put it up a little bit more.
At what 82?
No, I don't know, maybe 80 or 79.
80, 79. They give him an 84 now with all the stats. It rounds out to an 84. He's very smart, has great pocket presence. Lamar
Lamar is a great running
quarterback,
back.
but he
I mean,
needs
quarterback.
to learn how to stay in the pocket comfortably and, like you said, throw under pressure. Absolutely.
That's the
And-
problem, though, with Lamar is that even in college, he struggled with that. That's why in college, he was able to just run all over the football field. Now he's in the NFL where now he's starting to get a little bit of a taste of how hard it is to even just run. He does have amazing speed.
79,
and
78.
I mean, I give him credit. I mean, he's trying to prove all the doubters wrong. He's trying to say I can still be the quarterback because leading up to the draft, a lot of teams were inquiring if he would switch to wide receiver.
Yeah.
Can he catch? Can
Mm-hmm.
he run the routes? Can he do this thing? Because if he could pull that off and be a receiver, I think he'd be better already in the NFL as a wide receiver than he is currently as a quarterback, even having 2 years under his belt now going into this season. So, but here's the thing. Lamar Jackson, he's always struggled with reading defenses. He's always struggled with with making checks and balances, changing where he's going to go with the ball. He's still got a lot to learn about the game. He is a very smart quarterback, though. That's one thing I can say for sure. He can digest a playbook very quickly. It's just a matter of just retraining his brain, because now he's in the big show. He's in the NFL. So a lot more complex defenses, a lot more different looks. And it's hard to say because, yes, he does have to improve his accuracy, definitely. But, a lot of that comes with footwork. And I think a lot of times he gets happy feet. And that in turn becomes an inaccurate ball and all that thing.
Yeah, that's
Great
the same
running back.
conversation you have with all the mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Again, especially if they come in and have a smaller frame.
But not Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the exception
But
because
he
he's
has
got
even a
everything.
thicker frame too.
But he's got everything. Like he's accurate, deep, short, medium. He's very mobile. He can throw on the run. He's very
intelligent.
smart.
Yep.
So
that's
But
part of
Lamar
it.
Jackson, he's got a really long way to go, and I don't know. I'm really not sure. I was one of those people coming out of the draft. I was not high on this kid as a quarterback. So I think he's got a really, really high mountain to climb, and I'm really not sure if he's going to be able to get there.
All right, the next guy is Mitch Trubisky. He's tied right there with them with a 75 too as well. Now I want to hear your guys' opinion about that too with Mitch Trubisky. A few years here now with
Ridiculous.
the Bears, and now
I'm sorry.
again he's showed strides that he's doing better. He did better last
did
year.
better last year.
And now another year in this system, is he going to find the guy open? Make the plays. Because the funny thing I think too that surprised people is how mobile this guy and how he can run the type of the offense that they have to where he can not only do the jet sweeps and hand it, fake it to the wide receivers that he has and stuff, but keep it himself too and make plays out of the pocket that way. When he can rush out and then dish it if he's got to. I mean, he's shown that if it's not open even too, take off running and he can make it happen there.
Yeah.
So I mean, this guy is like an all around kind of quarterback with that, which kind of surprises people. Which a couple quarterbacks are like that too as well. I think even Matthew Stafford has shown that he's been able to break the pocket and run a little bit and make some first
he's got
downs
some
too as
mobility.
well. So
Definitely.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky coming in at 75. Now, when you look at all the stats and you crunch them down, what do you think now? An 80? What you think it's got to be higher?
It's
right?
got to be higher.
Yep.
I
Well, I look at it.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
it's an 82.
I would have said 83.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
would've
That's
said
about
83.
right. Yeah, I agree with that too. I'd say he's around in that realm, and I hope this year, and I'm looking that he can take another step up and play well
Yeah,
this year and excel.
He played really well last season. So, I mean, I don't understand why they give him such a low rating. I could get it 2 years ago, 3 years ago when he had, no weapons at all.
Yeah.
He basically had running backs, and that was it. But now, I mean, the team that they put together, the Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Trey Burton at tight end, and now it's a little bit different in the backfield. Now you don't have Jordan Howard. They sent him packing. Tariq Cohen, what an elusive little creature. He's going to be interesting to watch. And then Mike Davis, who they signed in free agency, he's another battering ram type running back for them. This offense, now he's going to have another offseason with the same grouping, the same weaponry. It's just going to get better. So I'd watch out for Mitch Trubisky this year.
All right, here's an interesting group towards the end now. Now we're looking at our last couple of the 32 starters here. Seeing some of the younger talent and maybe a few of the older guys here that are getting left behind. Josh Allen now comes in at 74. All right, when you crunch all the numbers that they get, yes, he has a 99 arm strength. We already know that, throwing power. We got that here, but 74, you think that's right around the realm? Give or take?
It's tough
They
because
probably upgraded his hurdle, too.
hurdle rating.
His hurdle rating.
His jump rating. He's
Yes,
got a
his
jump rating.
His jump rating's got to
but
be
no,
through the roof, too, as well.
Josh Allen, it's tough to rate him because as a quarterback last year, he was a rookie, had no weapons. So it's hard to. But he did show flashes of being the starting quarterback that the Bills know and love. Is he what did you say, a 74?
74, yeah.
74? I mean, I think it's got to be higher. I don't think it's got to be drastically higher, but, man, I mean, I would give him an 80. That's what I would give him.
Well, right here, if you crunch the numbers, he's at 79.
So almost there.
Almost there. All right, we
Give him
got
one more
here. We
point.
go. Hollywood Gaming and Mike Tackett joining in
All right, what
here
they got?
too. Here, but that's low. I know he's doing great, and his team isn't elite. But since he entered the league, he threw 24 TDs and 12 picks in 2018, and completion percentage like 66. I would say he's an 82, 83.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that
Hollywood,
too. bro.
man.
Yeah, they're bringing it, man. That's what I'm saying. This is
It's like-
great. I love it.
It's like
And,
we're on the
these guys
same
come out
page here.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then Mike Tackett says he's loved to see the option in Madden that disables the user to see player ratings and rely more on playing games and relying on
go.
stats to see if they're a good scheme fit.
I love
There you
that.
go. I like that too.
I agree with Mike.
Fluctuate with that.
You know what? Just don't even let anybody know about the ratings.
Yep.
Then, hey, there's no complaints then, right?
Yep.
There's no complaints. Just make the game, and nobody has to know. You know, you don't know how fast the guy is. You know by seeing him on TV, but like Tyreek Hill, whew, he's fast.
Yeah.
I want him on my team. But you can't just go, because that's what the thing is now. This younger generation that is getting into Madden, that is in Madden, they like crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
They're like, they want to, when they do a fantasy draft or something, they want to like put the best guys in. I want the fastest receivers. I want this guy. So they all look at the numbers.
Yeah.
What would happen? It would be interesting if they just put a camera in the room, they deleted all the ratings for next Madden. You know what I mean? And just said, here, go ahead and pick your team.
Well, I
How
think,
well would they be able to do it?
Exactly, because they would have to learn and know all the players and try to
Right.
figure it out and get it. Opinion
You got to
for
watch
themselves.
football.
Yes, you do. You got to. Yeah, like you said, a 99 guy. That's what they want to see. They want to
Yeah.
see. That's why.
They're
And
looking
that's the
at
thing. The
numbers.
reason why they don't do what Mike Tackett's saying is that's not marketable. Look at what we see all of a sudden. The 99 Club. Yo,
Yeah.
when we played Madden, Mike Tackett knows this probably too. Hollywood Gaming. I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm in my 40s, Joe.
Yeah.
I remember playing Madden when it first came out. I remember, spin moving yours, doing this, spinning around and stuff. But, dude, there wasn't a 99,
No.
There was a 99
no
jersey,
ratings.
but there were some ratings. Yes, but
Right, but
there
it
was
wasn't-
no way there was going to be a 99, let alone a group or a club named the 99 Club. I mean, that's not realistic. That is not what football is. You can't even look at it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so just up and down, and it just so that
It's
just
know the
freaking-
player.
Yeah, know
That's
the player,
really what
basically.
it is.
All right, so Josh Allen comes in there. Now his counterpart here that came in here, the New York Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold. Now, a lot of turnovers last year. His first throw was a pick six, so maybe there's a rating for that too. How many pick sixes did you throw? All right, he's a 74 too. I'll just group them all together. Him
Okay.
and Joe Flacco, 74s. All right, Joe
Really?
Flacco. Now, mean Joe Flacco, Super Bowl champion. Joe Flacco. 74s. All right, Sam Darnold. When I gave the stats here, when I crunched it all, did all the math
Yeah.
that they put down there, and I averaged it, what do you think it came out to?
I don't
Higher or
know.
lower? You don't know?
I don't know.
He's an 81 when I did all the numbers. So
Okay.
he's 2 ticks better than Josh Allen and up there now in Derek Carr's status around there. All right?
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins even now. All right, so Joe Flacco, I crunched the numbers. He gave him a 74. It's a 76 now. So he only improved like 2 spots.
That's
So-
fine.
And that's fine. That's more along lines.
Yeah.
He already knows where I think he is in his
Yeah,
career right
in
now.
his career, yeah.
That's where he is. Case Keenum jumping in the mix. Him and Kyler Murray are both rated at 73s.
Really?
All right. Yes. Case Keenum here. The VR training guy, Case Keenum, who got the starting job here
Who's
in
about to lose it
Minnesota
again.
somehow. Yeah, got it in Denver, lost that. Now he's in Washington. I name him the starter right now because you don't know if Haskins
Right.
going to take it. So when I crunched the numbers that they gave me on him, this is really mind-blowing, Joe. Mind-blowing. 73. When I averaged the ratings they gave me, what do you think it came out to? It's higher, buddy.
It's
Just
gonna
give
be
me a
higher.
number. Give it, go. Shoot for the moon.
I'll go 74 because I don't think he's.
Dude, 83.
Get out.
Case Keenum comes in at a solid
No way.
83.
No way.
Holy moly, that VR training is really
I just have
kicking in.
I just have a
And it's
question.
working.
Does anybody at EA Sports watch football?
I don't.
Because I'm sorry, a lot of these ratings are just really terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah, it's like I don't get because like I can see them 73 Case Keenum. Yeah, that sounds right overall.
Right.
But you gave him like an 80 something. I even have it even over here. Let's see if I can find Case Keenum over here. Where is he? Case Keenum. He's on the next one, right? Right here. Okay. Case Keenum. He had like
That's right, Mike. You're right. Mike Tackett just jumped in. He goes, I remember when Madden had the 100 overall.
A.K.A. Barry
A.K.A.
Sanders. Yep,
Barry
that's
Sanders.
right, Barry Sanders.
And
Here
I'll
you go.
t-
This is some of the short ball is in 83, and medium ball 81, deep ball 82. So this is where you're getting some of these. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Throw power is an 86, awareness a 79, and he can even all of a sudden break a sack. You know, at an 84. So that is. Again,
I'm sorry.
your
That's-
ratings here that you have and everything are just kind of you're over 80 and something, but you want to give him a 73. Where's the give and take? Where's the 73 coming from?
I
Then?
don't know. But
You
that
know,
whole
because
break
his
the
awareness
sack
is
thing is terrible.
his awareness is an 80 is a 79. So I mean, I don't get it.
Bottom line, Madden got it all wrong.
All right, and finally now our guy who rounds off the list of the 32 starting quarterbacks is. I don't even know. I can't do it. Drum roll. Here we go. Yes, ready. Eli Manning. Joe. Eli Manning is the
wait.
worst rated quarterback of the starters right here. Oh, man.
Wait.
What?
Wait. What?
Eli Manning.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Wait,
know.
hold
Because
on,
especially if
hold
you
on,
want to
let-
go off of what he did
Wait.
last year, I
so
don't get it.
so let me. All right, Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
He's underneath him.
He's better.
So you just listed off
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Better.
really
That's what they say.
Marcus Mariota.
He's better. Apparently.
I'm baffled right now.
I don't know.
I really don't. Wait, Ryan Fitzpatrick's better than Eli Manning. Is that
Yeah.
what they're trying to tell us?
Kyler Murray is better than Eli Manning, and he hasn't
Well,
played an NFL game. I'm
right.
just saying that right now.
Kyler
He's
Murray,
he's a
we don't
rookie,
know.
though,
Yeah, we just
You
don't
don't know.
Right.
but he's rated better.
So wait, hold on. Okay. So
Sam Darnold's rated
his
better.
rating is what right now?
A 72.
And what did it end up being?
When I rated it and crunched the numbers,
Yeah.
a 76. So 4 ticks better.
better, but
and
I
I can
still-
see that being his starting rating, how they averaged him, and then maybe
Right.
I average it out, and he's like an 80 or 79.
Yeah, I think it should be a little higher than a 76. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
I mean, I understand that Eli Manning catches a lot of flack from all sorts of fan bases, from what just even in conversations that we have with all our know-it-alls and everything. A lot of people are down on Eli Manning, but how can you hold Eli Manning accountable for a terrible offensive line? I just don't get that, because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like because, he makes mistakes and then he throws picks and da-da. But I'm sorry. This guy, I mean, statistically, even if you were just to go off of stats, he's still on the upper half of the league, not lower half like everybody thinks he is.
Mm-hmm.
His stats are right up there. I mean, he throws over 4,000 yards every single year. His touchdown to interception ratio is good. He had, I want to say, like, right off the top of my head, I think he had like 21 touchdowns and like maybe, I don't know, 15 picks,
Yeah.
something like that. But still, I'm sorry, for Madden to say Eli Manning is the worst quarterback in Madden as far as a starter goes, I don't know where they're coming from. I'm sorry. Eli Manning is a really good quarterback. That's right. I said a really good quarterback. Yes, he's not a mobile guy. He can't get out of his own way, but that's why you need to put a good offensive line in front of him. You give this guy time, he will slay the defense. He will. No matter what receivers he's got. I'm telling you right now.
There you go. All right. In the regular season, yeah, he had 21 touchdowns and 11 picks.
Oh, so off on the
Passer
picks.
rating of a 92. All right. There
Pretty
you go.
good, all right?
Yeah, pretty
saying.
good. I would take that. You know what I mean?
I would take that as a starter.
Yeah. So he was right there. He was only like 4 touchdowns away from Tom Brady on that. So there you go. Mike Tackett
There you
has
go.
it up. Mike Tackett, what was Marcus Mariota's stats last year. You know what I mean? See
Yeah.
his were like 13 touchdowns, I swear, and like 15 picks,
Yeah.
and he wasn't throwing no 4,500 yards. Damn, they did his dirty. It's a ring against Tom Brady, and last year twice, and was doing amazing. He threw 21 touchdowns, 11 picks. Yep, 4,299 throwing yards. Got sacked like 42 times.
Right.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about too. Yeah, you want to bring up that right there. All right, 42 times, which is close to normal, or close to what the highest was. Pretty similar. Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson were sacked like the top two most.
Yeah, like 67 sacks or something
and then
crazy.
56, and they're up there. And Eli is always getting hit. He averages probably 42 or 40 sacks a year, and that's because of no offensive line. And so 11 touchdowns, 8
picks.
interceptions. But see what I mean? Look at the production you're getting out of this guy, and you're like, how is this guy better than him? How are these guys, better?
How
here?
are any
They're
of those guys
ratings.
better than Eli Manning?
I just
that are
don't
above
get
him?
it. Yes, the team didn't do very well altogether, but you want to talk about first time in the first year in a different scheme. He's learning that, which he can pick it up, but also
I don't think that was it.
personnel
Right.
being
That's
injured
what it is.
nonstop, not having all the wide receivers here and there,
What it is.
but then also with the media going back and forth here, egging everybody on. Oh, look at cameras, boom, right there, and Odell looks like he's complaining this and this. Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, Eli, how do you think you're gonna perform? So are you afraid of this guy taking over your spot or blah blah? Whenever Saquon Barkley, got tackled for a loss, they're like, "Yep, they made the wrong decision. Should have went for a quarterback." And this and that. I don't get it, dude. What is your problem? Why can't you just give this guy a little bit of a break? Yes, he's not an elite upper, quarterback here and there, but you got to give him what his due is.
Yeah,
and
he's not elite anymore, but he used
last
to be.
3 years, it was 21 sacks, 31 sacks, then 47 in 2018.
Right.
Okay, so there you go.
That's poor offensive line play.
Yeah, which he hasn't had. Last time he had a decent offensive line,
won
he
the
went
Super
to
Bowl.
to the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, and like I said, I'm not making justification to where he should be up there, upper echelon, but
No.
last out of everybody, dude, you got to just stop with the hating here. You're following what everybody now, Madden. You're kind of telling me here that you guys don't know crap about what the frig you're talking about when you're rating these things. How am I going to trust you here if you're going off of whatever other analysts want to say, or this and this, and dog this guy, dog that guy? When
the
you, Jimmy G, a
fans, or-
guy who started 7 games or something like that and has 6 in a row that he won, you're rating him, like 7 ticks better than Eli Manning, who has won 2 Super Bowls. They did last year, played well, stayed healthy, didn't get a start one year because it was the coach's decision to take him out.
That was terrible.
Yeah, they need a D rate to offset poor quarterback. But that's not. Yeah, but that's not it, even Mike Tecca, because again, you're going to get the players or the kids, especially, because this is what you get. You get the youth that they're going after, the younger players that don't know so much, and they hear what's squawking, they hear what's coming. Oh, Eli, he's trash, he's garbage. That's what they're telling me. He sucks. So Eli, he's 72. I'm not going to pick that team. They suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they know.
Right. They only know what they're being
Just
told.
last year, I was talking to some 20-year-olds that say, "Hey, watch out for the Chargers and Philip Rivers. They're going to do better this year. The Chargers, like you said, 2 years ago, were at the bottom of their division. Now look at so we're good." I'm like, but Philip Rivers is good. They're like, he's trash. He's garbage. I'm like, from what you have maybe seen of him, but I've seen him in playoff games, playoff teams with LT and a bunch of people. And
He would take the team on his shoulders with nobody around him. Like, he didn't have a whole plethora of weapons to throw to. You look back when he just had Vincent Jackson, he just had Antonio Gates. That was pretty much it. He had LT, yeah, sure, also in the backfield, but he had no offensive line. And I'm sorry, if you don't have an offensive line, your offense usually isn't going to do much. And Philip Rivers still had to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
He could still win games.
There you go. So I mean, that one blows my mind. I'm glad I got that one off my chest.
Did you?
Here. Yeah, I think I did. I don't know.
You think?
I
I
think
can
exploded,
guarantee
I think,
you.
a little bit.
I can guarantee you that before training camp ends,
Yes.
you're going to get fired up again about Eli Manning.
Oh, I probably will again. Yeah, because again, that's what they want to bring up, and the quarterback battle apparently that's happening. In the New York Giants camp.
It is. I mean,
We'll see about
it's
that.
fine.
We'll see
Listen,
what's
everybody gets excited when they draft a shiny new toy, a new quarterback that could potentially take
Yes.
over. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Daniel Jones has to earn it, has to beat out Eli Manning, and I don't think it's going to happen this year.
There you go.
It's possible.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Here we go. Mike Tackett. Eli was 9th in passing yards, 17th in touchdowns, 21st in QBR for 2018, given the trash he had around him. Yeah,
Right.
I think he did okay. Exactly. When they won the Super Bowl, he got sacked 21 times. The first time, 28 second time. So your good lines, 47. Okay. All right, yeah, see? So there you go. I mean, it's there.
Right.
You know, so it's
Thanks all the know-it-alls out
There
there.
you
Thanks
go.
you
It's all
guys.
right
You
there.
know,
Yep.
dropping the knowledge in the comment section in there and keeping us all up to date on the stats there for us. Thank you.
there you go. So they're setting us straight.
yeah,
there,
I
so
mean,
it's good because I don't have stats
here's
in
the
front of
thing.
me, so it's good that they brought
I'm
it up
sorry,
there,
but I think we just need to take over EA.
yeah,
I think
there.
we need to just redo everything because clearly they don't watch football. Because by seeing all these ratings, what they rated each quarterback, I'm sorry. This is quarterbacks now. This is just quarterbacks. I think we're going to get even more fired up as we go further in.
Well, we'll see. Well, then, you know what, Joe? Let's get fired up about some headlines now. We're going to cut to the top. A lot of news going on, Joe. Let's lay it on there.
We got a lot of news, so buckle your chin
Let's have
straps,
some fun with some
everybody.
news.
Get ready for this.
What do you
Former
got?
D tackle Albert Hainsworth, who played 10 seasons in the NFL for the Tennessee Titans, Washington Redskins, New England Patriots, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, revealed on his Instagram page that he was diagnosed with kidney failure and has been diagnosed with kidney failure for a couple of years and is begging. Now, this is not the route I would go, but is basically begging and hoping somebody will donate him a kidney through Instagram. Come on, Albert. Running back Melvin Gordon has told the Chargers he will demand a trade and skip camp if he doesn't receive a new contract, per Adam Schefter. This is a story that kind of broke out last week, and I mean, here's the thing: is these players, as their contracts are starting to get to the end, last year of his deal, he wants security, and I understand that players want security; they want to be there for the long haul. Melvin Gordon wants to you either trade me or pay me. That's how he sees it right now. A lot of people kind of went rampant on this story and said, "Oh, well, you know what? Possible landing spots for Gordon if he gets traded, Packers." Everyone's saying Packers. I'm saying he's not getting traded.
Yeah,
he's going to sign
exactly.
a long-term deal
Yeah.
there. They're not going to let a top-tier running back like Melvin Gordon get away from this franchise. The future of the NFL's full-time referee program, everybody, guess what? It's under review. According to
Oh, man.
ESPN's Kevin Seifert, the league has suspended the program amid labor negotiations with the NFL Referees Association. Quote, unquote, bearing a turn in negotiations, the decision means the NFL will revert to its previous structure of using a full roster of officials whose employment status is part-time. No. NFL, you're going backwards. Every other professional league has full-time refs. The NFL is the only one that doesn't have full-time referees. And why wouldn't you want full-time refs? Everybody will be on the same page that way.
Yeah.
I just don't get this. Now
I
you're
like
going
how
back
they
to part-time.
started it, and they're
So
like, no, this ain't going to work.
my kindergarten teacher, my mechanic, my doctor, they're all going to be refs again. That's what you're telling me. My lawyer,
So I
I
can still
just
be a
don't get it.
referee. I like it. You know,
it's terrible.
I get it.
It's terrible.
Hollywood Gaming says Melvin Gordon is this year's Le'Veon Bell. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Because
Hollywood, shh,
I
quiet.
don't know about that
Keep
because
that.
Le'Veon Bell
Don't tell
made
anybody.
a lot more money than Melvin Gordon did.
Hollywood, I don't know if you do fantasy football, but we do here at Football on the Know, and he's one of my sleepers, so don't tell anybody. NFL owners proposed an 18-game schedule with limit of 16 games per player. What the hell do you ask that is? Well, quite simply, there's no extra bye week like me and Jimmy have talked about. Like, if they did an 18-game thing, maybe they add an extra bye week.
It makes sense.
They can still schedule a game for every week of the 18 weeks and still make mega dollars, because the NFL sought to make, if they were able to extend it 18, $2.5 billion more dollars are being brought in. So insane, right? Just for adding 2 more weeks. But this means that your starters are going to be benched.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. How would you like to buy? How would you like to buy tickets to a game? And
they wanted more like the NBA. That's where you're going to get now, bro.
We've gone to Giants games before and stuff like that. Like, if we were going to see, we're going to see Eli Manning play. We're going to see Saquon Barkley play. We're going to see this new defense play. You get there, and guess who's sitting? Barkley and Eli.
Yeah. You're getting the same thing from, the baseball, too.
No, it's terrible.
Rest some of the Yankees and things like that,
I mean, baseball's like...
But they play a
like
lot
how many
more things. But again, people get
so
upset
many
with that.
guys.
Like, I want to go down. I'm finally go down to see a game. People want to see Jeter play before he retired.
Yeah.
Boom. A lot of people didn't
He's
get
resting.
a chance to see. He's resting. He's not doing it. I don't get it.
This is
whatever.
terrible. The Players Union is behind the fans, everybody, because the Players Union is not for this either. They are fighting this as well. So this is going to be
if
interesting
the team plays
to see.
on Thursday, the week before they play on Saturday.
Say that again?
How about if a team plays on Thursday the week before they play on a Saturday? Like as a rest kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Give them a little more instead of a Thursday, or instead of a Sunday. Gives them a little bit more of a rest, like one extra day. Yeah, if they're going to play on a Thursday game, they can't play Sunday. They're going to play Saturday instead.
Next Saturday.
The Saturday before that game. You know what I'm saying? Before the Thursday game.
I'm confused. I don't know.
If you're due to play a Thursday game, you play it Saturday instead. He's saying Saturdays during the season instead of postseason. No. I don't know. Yeah.
Because they already
Why don't you
scheduled.
just put the bye week in?
They already scheduled Thursday games, and then the following time that they play is next Sunday.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they get the rest afterwards.
I don't see.
Push it there. And you get after.
But I just it's a bad idea all the way around.
Yeah.
Unless they did our idea.
Yeah.
Extra bye week.
Extra bye week.
Just saying.
Everybody gets a rest still. It's longer.
The NFL has suspended tight end Chris Herndon from the Jets for the first 4 games of the season due to none other than substance abuse.
Winners don't use drugs.
And they
every time.
apparently,
Every time.
it's crazy. They don't listen. No one listens.
I'm lost. I thought it was good.
Raiders guard
Saturday.
Richie Incognito suspended 2 games for personal conduct violation. Now, Richie Incognito, for those of you that don't know who he is, last year he was on the Bills as a guard, created some turmoil, some problems there, went a little crazy mentally, and a lot of bad crap happened in Buffalo. So because of all that bad stuff that happened the season ago, now that he's back into the league, the NFL decided to suspend him for the first 2 games. The Miami Dolphins assistant head coach and quarterback coach Jim Caldwell announced Saturday he, quote unquote, will take a leave of absence to address health issues, per the team. It's sad whenever we see anybody in the NFL that has to leave the game, leave the sidelines, because they got to take care of either health issues or some kind of catastrophic event. But Jim Caldwell is going to have to step away for a little bit from the Miami Dolphins. NFL gives $8.78 billion back to its teams in national revenue for last season. Each team comes away with, this is no joke, each team is getting $274.3 million each. Cashing in. Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott will not be suspended for his actions from earlier this offseason at a Las Vegas music festival. It appears that not all is said and done, however, with the incident. Fox 5 Las Vegas has reported that security guard involved in the incident has decided to press charges against the Cowboys player. This is kind of funny because after video came out on this whole situation, I watched it. I'm like, oh, well, was Zeke like throwing the security guard or something like that? No, it was quite simply, it was very like easy. Ezekiel Elliott, he kind of like he walked into the security guard. He didn't really like aggressively throw him or anything like that. He just kind of kept walking into him. All of a sudden, the security guard just goes down. He tripped over something.
Yeah, he must have stumbled over.
And then Zeke kind of got backed away and everything, and that was really it. So right now, the security guard is fishing. That's really what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Titans linebacker Derek Morgan retires from NFL after 9 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. Played his whole career with the Tennessee Titans. Ever since he was drafted to now, Derek Morgan, he will be missed. He was one of those fan favorites there for Tennessee. Kicker Robbie
Gould. Free Zeke.
Kicker Robbie Gould agrees to long-term contract with the 49ers. I told y'all that he was never going to get traded to the Bears as much as he wanted to. And I'll tell you right. And I also said, we also said, money talks.
Yeah,
and here it is. He's agreed to a long-term contract with the 49ers before the deadline. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported the agreement is for 2 years with $10.5 million fully guaranteed. That's the big kicker. And the deal includes an option clause that can turn into a 4-year deal. $19 million contract with $15 million guaranteed. So they've pretty much locked up their kicker for the future. Redskins quarterback Alex Smith has shed his leg brace.
Yes,
I mean, this is huge news for Redskins fans. Still don't know if he'll be able to return to NFL stature, be able to play again in the NFL, but it's great for Alex Smith to finally get out of the leg brace. He's healing. He's trying to get better, and who knows? I mean, but here's the crazy thing is his age. You know, age isn't on his side, so if it's going to take a year or two to get back, his career is pretty much done.
Mike Tackett brings up something here, too. He's like, don't forget, and this is exciting news right here, Joe. Doug Flutie College Football 2019 comes out in early September on PS4 and Xbox One. There are 2 game modes you can choose from, including a 130-team NCAA Dynasty or a 27-team Canadian College Dynasty.
Ooh.
School names, logos, colors, and rosters are all 100% customizable, too. Fictional teams or not, it would be nice having another option after Madden turns out to be disappointing again.
I know, and that's the thing too. Is
there
like
you go.
We have there's so many
NCAA?
Topics you could go off of for Madden and how bad this is or that is. For me, it's the damn linebackers. How the hell can a linebacker be here and all of a sudden you throw a 15-yard pass and he just jumps straight up in the air like he's Superman and picks it off?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I just had to say that right quick. But Bengals guard Clint Bowling today announces his retirement from the NFL. Bowling spent his entire career with the Cincinnati Bengals after joining the team in 2011 as a 4th-round draft pick selection out of the University of Georgia. Now, this is interesting because now that he's announced his retirement, I hope the Cincinnati Bengals already had a backup plan in place.
Yeah, right.
Because that's going to hurt their offensive line.
Yeah, wait, stick it to you.
In other news, the Atlanta Falcons
in the middle of July
have not signed not 1 but 2 Falcons. And they spent a lot of money in the past year.
That's true.
D-tackle Grady Jarrett and the Falcons agree on a 4-year, $68 million contract per Adam Schefter. And then the other one I'll tell you in a second. But on-field group celebrations can now only include the players in uniform. The league's competition committee ruled, according to Pro Football Talk, players who do come off the sidelines will be required to wear a helmet. Celebrations. Well, you have to be dressed too.
Yeah, okay.
You can no longer be in, just loungewear or anything.
Yeah.
You got to be fully dressed and have a helmet to be on the field. And celebrations must still last 40 seconds at most. The new rule says.
Did you see a lot of people coming off the sidelines for Really?
Absolutely.
I don't remember any of that.
Anytime there was a big-time touchdown or something like that, you would see coaches, you would see players that were on the sideline that were dressed in just like off-field apparel. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Absolutely. That's a thing.
Sign with the Redskins, Jonathan Cooper. First-round pick, Jonathan Cooper. Sign with the Redskins.
Yeah, I know. I know, Mike. I didn't even put it in the drop. I didn't think it was relevant. But
yes.
Thanks Thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers running back James Conner was diagnosed with cancer back in 2015 while he was playing football at the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
When the doctor told him he had tumors around his heart, he also said Conner didn't have long to live.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Quote, unquote, the doctor told me you got about a week. Imagine hearing that.
Yeah.
If
I
you
know.
didn't get this treated, you had about a week at the rate it was going. Unreal. Conner, who was rehabbing a torn MCL at the time, said the cancer was discovered only after he was having difficulty sleeping and went to get additional testing. This is absolutely amazing news, and it's great news for Conner to be able to go and get checked out even further, because if he had not, we might have never known James Conner.
Yeah, that's nuts.
pretty
It's pretty crazy.
crazy
it's an
news
interesting
right there.
story and the way that things happen. That's what happens with a lot of people. They
Yeah.
go in there for a different procedure and then they
Right.
happen to find it. Luckily, some are able to catch it in time. Some, unfortunately, aren't either. Though.
And it's accidental at times.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Mike Tackett says he just questioned here. Do we plan on watching All or Nothing with the Panthers on July 19th?
I plan on not. I'm passing.
I will not, just because I don't watch TV usually, so I won't.
I'm not going to watch the Panthers.
And it has Cam Newton, so Joe
Listen,
does not like Cam
I'll
Newton.
tell you
so I don't
this
think
right now.
It's going to be the Cam Newton show.
Exactly. Because from every advertisement that show has had, it's like Cam is heavily in it all the time.
And probably whatever brands he's wearing.
I know.
probably, too,
It's
like that, so.
it's not.
I don't
I
know
just
about
can't
that.
take it. I can't take
How
it.
about you watch it, Mike, and fill us in?
You
on
let
what's
us
going
know.
on. How about that? You'll have your own segment. Mike Tackett's All or Nothing updates.
According to Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, a source close to Gronk said there is a 40% chance that
So
the
there's a
five-time
chance.
Pro Bowler will end his retirement and return to the Pats. I just thought that was funny because as soon as I put this in the group, Patriots fans loved it. They're like, yes, bring Gronk back. Listen, has anybody seen Gronk right now? That's my question. If you've seen Gronk has lost a lot of weight. Like, he is super skinny at this point. There's no way he can come back in football shape right now.
To take the beating and do what he's got to do. Yeah. I understand that.
He's got to gear up.
Yeah.
Free agent running back Alex Collins suffers a broken leg, but has had his leg repaired per Ian Rappaport. Alex Collins, a surprising free agent, a guy that was a decent running back, a good running back for the Baltimore Ravens when he started. He had a shot. He had several teams lined up to maybe acquire his services, and unfortunately breaks his leg in the offseason.
Not had the best of luck.
Not very good for Alex there.
Yep.
Wide receiver Martavis Bryant applies for reinstatement. Martavis Bryant, one of the flashier types of speedy receivers for the Steelers and Raiders, now looking to come back. Apparently, he's done a lot with mental health. He's trying to get himself back, in line with what he needs to do and how he needs to get back into the NFL. I wish him all the best of luck. I really do. I mean, I think it's hard. It's hard for people that have to deal with mental illness and all that in that type of thing there. But hopefully, he's able to get healthy and return to the NFL at some point.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos rookie quarterback Drew Lock has ended his holdout after
Holy
agreeing to
moly.
his rookie contract, according to Pro Football Talk. I know this is huge
Everybody's
news,
gotta
Denver
relax
fans,
again, too. Like,
because
we can breathe.
Let's just face it. Rookies, I love it when rookies hold out or potentially hold out, because no matter what happens, there really is no negotiation. It's already set in stone. You just got to sign the dotted line. So, everybody's so excited in Denver right now because now they get another quarterback who they can see that Elway once again made a poor decision in bringing in. And that second Falcons player to be re-signed is none other than linebacker Deion Jones, another big-time cornerstone for this Atlanta organization.
Totally, dude, he is.
The Falcons agreed to a 4-year, $57 million contract extension. Jones's agent Drew Rosenhaus confirmed to ESPN's Adam Schefter the deal also includes $34 million guaranteed.
Boom.
The Atlanta Falcons have kind of really shelled out a ton of dough the past season, and it's all locking up cornerstones of their organization and their roster. I think they're doing a great job of keeping the talent there in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. Hollywood Gaming joins up here. He talked about the all or nothing here. He says, I don't like Cam. I can't believe he went at Peyton Manning after he won the Super Bowl. And Gronk is out. Only way he's coming back is if they're doing bad and Brady asked him. That's one thing. But again, look at the injury problems he's had throughout his career already. When he was even bulky and able to handle some of that impact. Now at a little more frail of a state and be able to try and come back and build up to be a tight end. I don't see it. I mean, you wouldn't have enough time.
It's pretty interesting how dramatic of a change Gronk has gone through only after a few months. I mean, I was actually shocked it was him. I couldn't believe it. Like, when you saw Gronk, even without pads, he looked all chiseled. He looked diesel. He looked ready to go. Now you look at him, you're like, wait, that's who? Isn't that his son? No. He's just skinny. He's like, he just really slimmed right down.
Now he's doing Gronk fitness.
And
man.
I'll tell you right now,
the shaker bottle.
He's kind of lost all his weight real quick.
Yeah,
but to get back into football shape, it would take longer for him to just simply quickly return. He would have to start working out now, right before the season even started.
Yeah.
And last but not least, offensive tackle Desmond Harrison has been released by the Cardinals after just signing with the team to potentially be a starter after hearing there was an arrest warrant issued for Desmond, who is being charged with strangulation and assault on a female. Unreal. What is... I ask this every week just about. What is wrong with these guys?
I don't know.
They think they can get away with just anything. They can get away with everything? Come on.
Yeah.
But that's it for the drop.
There you go. It was a long one. Holy moly. A lot of news going through there, but a lot of stuff to talk about. And we are all, in this lovely group and family that we are, Football on the Know. We all agree. I guess we don't like Cam Newton, so it's good.
Right.
We're all loving the feeling of Cam love. I like it. Tonight's a good night. Thanks everybody for checking in with us through YouTube and Facebook and the Periscope as well too. Make sure you like, share, post, subscribe, spread the word to some friends. If you guys like what we're doing here and you like having conversations with us, invite some friends. They can talk too. It's all good. We love it here. I'll understand it, man. They get the dream and they throw it all away so easy over something dumb. Again, you would think it would be something like, because we all live our daily lives, we do our own thing here. You would think that some of these guys would be, the way you think. Like, listen, I get an opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
That's something I love. I would love to do this. How do you go and screw that up? Well, some people, again, you can't change the way they are. There's
Or the
people
way
at
they
my
grew up.
job that I work at, during the day, that just blow up over nothing. Stuff like that. And like, dude, your biggest blow up, you could potentially lose your job over what you're doing, and you don't even realize that what you're doing. They can't control it. You would think that some could. That's just that easy. But you know what? It's just, you don't know what's going on in people's brains, and they can't figure it out. And the worst part is that it's towards women and stuff like that.
I'm
That's the
sorry,
worst
but
thing.
I mean, this is just absolutely being dumb.
Yeah. Dude, like I said, you
listen,
can't change it.
When you get to
can't
this
click
point, when you
stupid.
get to this point in the NFL,
Yeah.
you make it to the NFL. They have classes in the offseason and stuff.
They have everything to do to help.
They have everything
do.
to help. If you're going through mental illness, if you're going through a substance problem, whatever the case may be, the NFL does have classes. They do have people that you can reach out to. You just got to make the effort.
Oh,
It's very
Mike
simple.
Tackett, I love it, man. Joining. Oh, here you go, Hollywood. Johnny Manziel, when he first came in, is an example. Yes, definitely. And then he went and got help a few times. Then he got married. I think it was a really changed it, I think, for him. You know, and not being able to get back in the league. And Mike Tackett joins us here with it. XFL finished their final showcase this past week. Robert Meacham, Will Hill, Landry Jones. And they'll be in it, and it'll be fun to watch them in this league in the XFL. Trent Richardson,
And so
not
much more.
So much, he says. Not so much. He's there, but and also talk about the XFL. We are going to have Jeremiah Spicer on our show next week. We're going to do a great interview with him. Check out the YouTube videos out there of this guy. He's out there. He's done some interviews with some other folks and stuff, promos with the XFL. Great backstory. You know, I mean, his fight to get into this game. You want to talk about just trying to fight to live out their dream. And you got guys that trying to just, blowing up, beating women and stuff and wrecking their career over something stupid and just, dumb, and losing your mind. And you got other guys just fighting to try and get in.
That's the thing.
You know?
This kid, Jeremiah Spicer, I mean, he is inspirational. I mean, his story, wait until we get right into the nitty-gritty of it next week, but he's inspiring. It's not even just about making it to where he's gotten right now. It's about his whole fight through life.
Yeah.
Like, this kid has had
yeah.
it hard,
Yeah.
and he's gotten, and all he's done, all he's ever done is worked hard. He's worked very hard to get where he is, and he's not going to give it up very easily. So he's going to keep pushing through. So we hope that he does well. We hope that he makes the XFL and has a very successful career there.
Hollywood Gaming says Trent Richardson still plays.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
Here's the funny thing though is Trent Richardson actually did very well in the AAFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually kind of tore it up there. So he looked like a completely different running back. I remember I watched a few games of him on the Alabama Birmingham Birmingham Iron. That's what it was, Birmingham Iron. And I don't know, I was impressed. I was like, man, you just got to take them out of that top tier talent, and you put them in a little bit lower bracket, and look at them go.
Yeah, right, yeah. But that's what happens with some of these guys, and that's why it's even deceiving at times when you see some of these players and the way they perform. How will it turn into an NFL career? Who knows? But some of these guys may be trying to get back in there. Others, they're already past their due and just trying to make a living doing football, things that they love. Some people,
Definitely.
the transition from retiring is just as hard sometimes as getting in.
100%.
With some people. I overlooked our spot to do the fact of the day, Joe, but we're going to get to it in a second. But right now, I want to throw it out there so you guys can think about it. If we did all Madden and all that stuff got all heated up, we are going to close our show. We are running late. But if there's any questions you guys have, burning questions coming up here, maybe coming up in the training camp you guys have, we can just talk about real quick before we roll out of here. Let us know, and if not, then we will see you guys next week. We're gonna have Jeremiah Spicer on, do some more talk, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Just want to thank all the know-it-alls out there. Thank you for the continuing support. It's been a great ride so far. We're 3 years in, everybody.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Definitely, we come a long way.
Yeah,
Started off
definitely.
as a podcast, just doing audio, and now we're into
I'll tell you right now,
visuals and everything.
I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, when
Yeah,
we look
it was
back
tough.
on it, what we had a black table,
a makeshift
black
stuff.
curtain.
I had a mixer. I had a great mixer though doing work. We had
you had enough set up there for a concert.
We did.
But yeah, just thank everybody for the continuing support. Make sure you please encourage anybody that you know that's a football fan to come and join in this show that we've created. It's a lot of fun. Grow our football family. Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and follow us on YouTube. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Here comes up our in the know fact of the day. Fact of the day. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is an interesting one, Joe. I mean, I try to find good stuff for you. But
All right, what we got?
Here we go.
What we got?
Check this out. Between the years of 1921 and 23,
I was not born yet.
I know, but a lot of people have this question, Joe. Why is the Hall of Fame in Canton? Here it is. There was a team named the Canton Bulldogs that went 25 straight games without a defeat, 22 wins, 3 ties, and won 2 NFL championships, 1922 and 1923. In fact, the NFL legend Jim Thorpe played for them during that time. And as of now, their unbeaten streak is the longest in NFL history. Therefore, due to their early success, the NFL decided to place the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. So,
And it will never be broken.
And never be broken. People are trying to break the Dolphins, record. The Patriots were there, almost going all undefeated for a season. Let alone, almost 2 seasons. That with 25 games. Yeah, that's a season and more than a half. So
yeah. It's absolutely insane. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, and that's why that's where the Hall of Fame is. But I thought that was an interesting fact for everybody to know here. So there you go, knowing why it's in Canton. Somebody asks you, hey, why is it here, Canton, Ohio?
Because I said so.
That's also too, because you learned it here on Football in the Know, and that's what we're trying to do. You keep you in the know. All right. Now, Hollywood Gaming, here you go. He's got a question.
Something.
All right, do you agree that the Dolphins being the lowest rated team in Madden 20?
Lowest rated team.
Well, they did go through unloading a lot of guys. Let me see. Let's
The
take a
roster
gander.
isn't as complete as it once was.
No, but
Brian Flores and company, they're going
let me
through a
take
rebuilding
gander
period.
here.
I do like some of the weapons that they have. You know, I know you don't like him very much, but Devontae Parker, if he can stay healthy,
Yeah, well,
he
I've
could
been
make a
trying
difference.
That's what you can only try. You know,
If he stays healthy, he would make a tremendous difference in that offense. And along with Mike Gesicki, the tight end, he wasn't even used last year as a rookie. It was terrible. So if he gets used, I think they got to spread the ball around. You know, they got to work it around. Kenny Stills, is he still there? The wide receiver?
I don't think so.
Deep threat receiver?
I think he moved on just this past year. Let me double check though, because I had looked for him last week. I think though.
But they got some weapons. You got Kenyon Drake there in the backfield. So I mean,
they got some weapons here. But then I think you got to be debatable with the Redskins maybe just because of the quarterback situation that they're at. They had to rely on Adrian Peterson coming in, because they've been a running back by committee there, and wide receivers trash. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they have a great defense, and they've been trying to build that up.
Actually, I would not say that they're trash. I say that they got one really good one. That's Paul Richardson.
Oh, yeah, true. But, I mean, how well was he able to perform last year? Was he able to do well with them? I mean,
with Seattle, he did great.
Yeah. But,
Paul Richardson just got onto the team now.
Just got onto the team now, yeah, okay. And
they got more running.
But he's not like a number one. I don't think
Paul
Richardson's
Richardson?
number one.
Oh yeah, he can. Yeah,
he
he's
can
that
play,
good.
but I don't think
he's that
number
good.
one. Yeah,
he's that good. You watch.
All right. I mean, Giants are only a 77 team overall. Dolphins like 75. It's tough with they rate some of the guys. I don't think the Giants have ever gone over an 80 in I don't know how many years. And it's tough because with these ratings, it's almost they should rate them the way, I don't know if you guys play NHL at all, but hockey, the ratings are, they should rate the defense, the offense, and then like special teams. And that should be their team rankings. Not just an overall, because you've got that kind of mix of stuff. Because even we've seen any given Sunday, some of these teams can win, and despite being ranked or what they are, I mean, within the division, they could do well. The Giants, despite some of the insufficient players that they had losing Odell and stuff, they might be even a better off team without him at this point. And they're going to surprise, I think, some people at times. So to say that they're going to be the worst team, I don't really see that happening as well. So, I mean, that's tough. Look at the Jets, schedule. They could do pretty badly too. With
their schedule's tough. It's really tough this year.
It's up. Yeah, Kenny still is there with them. Devontae Parker. I've been waiting for this guy to perform. He keeps letting me down.
It's not about performing. It's about staying healthy.
But you got Bryce Butler there, who might finally get an opportunity here. But
or not.
Albert Wilson, though, too. He came on strong a little bit last year.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's tough though, because I think the main key is when you look at quarterback play.
And they have an underrated
That's what it
defense.
is too. Quarterback. That's the only thing I could see of that's maybe suspect, because you don't know what you're going to get.
Offensive line.
Rosen,
they got no right tackle now. Juwan James left. He went to Denver Broncos. Now they got a gaping hole at right tackle. I don't know what they're going to do with that spot. Hopefully, whoever they have,
Jordan Mills
penciled in.
They have in there penciled in right now.
Hopefully, he can pull it off and play at a substantial rate for them to be able to protect their quarterback, whoever that may
are
be.
an 83. They got rating for that. Man, that must be all defense then.
But,
I don't know.
But they do have a really good defense.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is like a lot of these teams, they are right around 80.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams in the NFL. Then they have like the upper echelon guys. New England Patriots are always rated high. And I don't know.
They have the Lions. Lions kind of are in a downturn rebuild kind of sense, I would say, because they what do they have? They just grabbed Danny Amendola. I mean, what do you think about them? What are the Lions ranked?
Well, they got Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones Jr. at receiver. They
had mainly injuries last year, though, too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mainly.
Offensive line got beat up.
We're looking for Kerryon Johnson to do better.
He will.
So, but, I mean, on defense.
But that's the thing,
That's why I think the ratings should change. They should be, this is their offensive rating, defensive rating, special teams, boom, and then choose your team and what you have.
Yeah.
Because it varies. You can't say like a team overall.
Because the Redskins have a great defense.
Yeah.
but their offense is not so
and
great.
Their defense we've seen can help keep you in a game or
Right.
win, and we've
Yep.
seen other teams have a great defense win them Super Bowls when their offense wasn't as stellar or good or support them.
Yeah, look
So
at the 2000 Ravens.
That's why I think, like I said, I think NHL sometimes they've got it right in certain aspects, especially with their video games and stuff.
Right.
I think Madden should maybe take a look at that. All right, take it for what it's worth. The Jets, Sam Darnold was the top-rated quarterback the last 4 weeks of 2018 per Pro Football Focus. Maybe should be an 80 or 81 overall.
I'm glad Pro Football Focus took the time out to figure out the last 4 weeks of the season who was the best quarterback.
Yes, because
Thank
I
you.
mean that's fine. That's what you call a streak and stuff like that. You know, what I mean, anybody during a certain streak could be fine. You know,
Yeah,
but that's the thing. For Pro Football Focus, they do those analytics and test it out to
Yeah.
give you something interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Because also, some of the things that people want in a quarterback will say, well, how do they do under pressure? How do you do under duress? Eli Manning last year was the best rated under duress. You know, everybody's still knocking him.
he's still the worst in Madden.
He is. He's still crappy. So there you go. He is the opposite of the cheat code, whatever that is. You know, there you go. So that's what I mean. I mean, yes, that's interesting for Pro Football Focus, and yes, maybe that can, like, Jets fans can take that and
They
say
could.
there's something to say that, you know, he's turning it around, because again, the first part wasn't so good, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think Darnold needs to reevaluate himself.
We'll see. Well, we definitely know that team's going to have to rely definitely on Le'Veon Bell and whatever they can do with the running game. All right, higher or lower? Or was it lower? No, lower or good? Higher, lower, or good. All right, this is what we're playing a game. All right, for the Rams. Sorry, I'm trying to read. All right, for the
not
Rams.
his fault he can't read.
Yeah, I can see this right. All right, for the Rams, they're an 85, the 8th ranked team. I thought they were higher. Goff showed a lot, and Gurley is amazing.
Gurley may be amazing before the injury. Now Gurley is going to be in this offense. He's no longer going to be the bell cow. He's still going to get the majority of the touches.
This is the thing with Madden, though, so
but
it doesn't
he's
matter.
also
though.
but he's also hurt.
Right? Is that what he's talking about? 85th ranked, 8th ranked team, or
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
for the Rams? Yeah, so this
They're an
is
85
dealing with Madden,
overall.
though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're an 85 overall.
That's
They're
the thing. The
8th
good thing with
ranked.
Madden is because you can make them do whatever you want. And stuff
Higher,
like that,
lower, or
you know,
good?
but
You
higher,
think
lower,
they stay
good.
at the same, or they go higher or lower in your opinion?
Then on defense, they got better. I mean, they grabbed right. No, I can't
Well,
remember.
on defense, they will be better
will be
because
better.
Aqib
Yeah.
Talib
Yeah.
and Marcus
Yeah.
Peters are coming back
Yeah.
healthy. They didn't have them
Yep.
for that Super Bowl. In the
80.
playoffs,
Uh,
so they got them. Here's the
I'd
thing.
say higher than an 85.
Here's the thing: is for me, the Rams defense is going to be good, but they still have a major weakness, and that's the middle of the football field. Their linebackers are not that good. They were able to. They were surrounded by premier talent until the corner started to go away. People started to attack the linebackers. So that's where I could see you having the advantage against the Rams defense. Now offensively, we've heard stories coming out of LA that Todd Gurley no longer will be the absolute bell cow with 150 touches a game, something stupid like that. But Todd Gurley is still going to be utilized. But remember, back in his college days in Georgia, he has bad knees, and it was only a matter of time for it to catch up with him, and now it's catching up to him now in the NFL. Once again, they're worried about his knees, and I really don't know what to expect. They keep saying that they're going to dial back his touches and everything, but what does that mean? Does that mean more of a running by committee now? Because they did draft, I think it was Darrell Henderson from the draft, and is it going to be running back by committee or
Darrell Henderson,
right? Or is it going to be Todd Gurley's still going to get the ball a lot, but not as much as last year? You know what I mean? We don't know what to gauge it on, so that's what I'm going to be curious to look for. And then the offense is going to be the offense. Still got the offensive line. You still got those weapons. That's going to still be there. So to be quite honest, like if you were going to raise that at all, I don't think I would raise it crazy because of that. Because the defense is still, you can still beat those guys in the middle.
I'd still probably make him an 88 in my opinion, especially because last year you saw what they did. They didn't have Cooper Kupp at all.
No,
they did it with Josh Reynolds and Robert Woods and stuff. So they got
Woods,
even
Brandon
another
Cooks.
weapon on offense there. Yes, they do lose a few guys, but they get Eric Weddle, another veteran, back in there. Yes, your linebackers are your weakness, and you have Clay Matthews who's aging, but I mean it's a little fill gap kind of thing. But I really liked what Ebukam did last year too. He was making some big plays for an underlying name that's not really well known. I thought he did fairly well for the sort of plays
coverage. That's the problem. That's where you can beat them. That's why you take your running back out of the backfield and you run right up the middle. They can't stay with any running back. That's their biggest weakness as linebacker. And by adding Clay Matthews, that's going to handicap them even more because Clay cannot cover for nothing.
Now he says that the Colts are above them, and what do you think? They should be above them, or do you think that's lower? I mean, I don't know. So, I like the Colts coming on, but I think if I look at rosters and stuff, and you're trying to grade, I like the Rams roster better than the Colts. But even though I like the Colts as a great team to play this year and be in contention, I just think overall. With the roster, I mean, I think I still got to give it to the Rams. But what do you think, Joe?
That's a tough one because, to be quite honest, like the Colts roster is a little underrated.
Yeah,
they have right now.
Well, they're rated better than these guys.
I mean, they have like one of the best offensive lines right now ever.
Yeah,
assembled.
That's true. There, yep.
They have. I mean, before last season. Yeah, I could see. I would say, Colts should be lower than the Rams. But this season, I don't know. I mean, they've managed to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes, a lot of upgrades. You have Marlon Mack returning now healthy. He looks to break out this season with that great offensive line. You got some weapons now. Devin Funchess comes over from the Carolina Panthers. And to pair him up with T.Y. Hilton and others, I mean, who knows? Eric Ebron kind of took right off and broke out last season. Jack Doyle, he's coming back healthy. I mean, there's a lot to like about this offense. And then not just that, defensively. Darius Leonard, as a rookie last year, he got shafted. He should have been to the Pro Bowl, and instead people did not vote him in. But they got a pretty like a sleeper type of defense. They got a lot of youth there, especially in the secondary. I really like them a lot. When you compare to the Rams, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of tough. I don't know. I don't think I would. I think they're kind of even, to be honest.
Mike Tack enjoys it. His fact of the day: Jerry Rice owns the deadliest Madden rating of all time. In Madden 98, Rice had a rating of 189 overall, and on the N64, yes, 189. Was that a bug or something with that glitch? Like, how did the hell did that happen to even get a 189? But N64, there's a reason why I don't think that system lasted very long. It wasn't very popular with stuff. So, but
after that, they were done.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. So, all right, that's it. That's our show for now. Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. Mike Tack and Hollywood Gaming. You guys made it tough. I don't know who the MVP is going to be of this show this week. You guys were all over it, though.
We will figure
it out. We love it.
We
love having you guys on here. Thanks so much. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following us. Thank you for the support again. And we will see you guys next week for another great show. Take care.
Join us next week from 8 till 10 Wednesday night for more Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.